All right, Crendor, what is our big news story of the day?
Top 10 Florida man stories of 2019.
Yes, this is what we need.
This is what we need. All right, top Florida man stories of 2019. All right, it's got it broken down by month. January. Started off the year of the bang with a 30-year-old Florida man overheard threatening to kill someone with kindness. Oh, we covered that one.
That's right. Yeah, that's right.
Yep.
Kindness was his machete.
Yep.
I'll never forget. That was a great one.
When Florida man takes off his clothes in a public place, trouble always ensues. That's what happens when a man walked into an Oakland Park Walgreens store and stripped down in February, incident that was caught on camera. Another Florida man learned a hard lesson when allegedly stole collectible coins worth tens of thousands of dollars, then ran them through the grocery store change machine that returned just a fraction of their value.
Yep, that was all in February.
Naked March. A naked Florida woman got in on the fun when a driver captured video of her running naked across a busy section of Interstate 95. Later in the month, a Florida man who didn't want to show up to his shift at Hardee's called and reported he'd just been robbed. I remember that one. That's right. Oh, my God. April. Do not get between a hungry Florida man and his food. In April, a Florida man was arrested at Olive Garden after police say he caused a drunken disturbance and was shoveling spaghetti into his mouth with his hands. It was a Florida man Easter in Orlando, and a man in an Easter bunny costume was filmed brawling outside a bar.
I remember this video. This
I
dude
remember
in
that
the
too.
Easter bunny costume beating the crap out of this guy. It's amazing.
May, an alligator is a key accessory for the Florida man or woman. Case in point, a woman had been involved in a traffic stop when she pulled a foot-long alligator from her yoga pants. I remember that.
We did that one too.
And she had 41 turtles. That's right. She's the turtle woman. Oh, my God.
Florida man. Keeps on giving.
In May, including when a man fled a traffic stop, thought it'd be wise to call 911 to gloat about it. Another Florida man caught on camera standing through his Cadillac sunroof while driving down a highway told troopers he'd rather go to jail than go back home to his wife. In June, a hungry Florida man cannot be stopped. That's when 48-year-old man was arrested for hiding meth in a container of hot, fresh potato wedges during a traffic stop.
I mean, you know.
Not to be outdone, another man thought it'd be a good idea to stop and grill a burger while breaking into a Jensen Beach Wendy's.
I think we covered that one.
Yeah, or somebody broke into somewhere and cooked something. July, Florida woman got in on the food fracas when authorities said a woman attacked another woman with a knife when denied a slice of pizza.
Sometimes pizza that good.
Yep. In August, Florida man gets behind the wheel even when it's a golf cart or bicycle. Month ran by the caught on camera guy by Walmart in a golf cart terrorizing shoppers and ignoring deputies' orders before stopping and crashing into a register. That same day, a man was riding his bike nude during rush hour. In some cases, Florida man can't catch a break even when he's doing nothing wrong. That's what happened to one man who opened his front door to head to work and was bitten by a small rainforest raccoon-like creature called a kinkajou.
Uh-huh.
All right.
Why was that there? I'm looking at it. It's weird.
That is weird. I don't know. The wild month also saw a 74-year-old man arrested attempting castration. I remember that one.
Yep. I remember that too.
September, Florida man and hurricanes, bad combo. This year is different because a Florida man came up with a genius way of protecting his smart car from Hurricane Dorian when he decided to park it in his kitchen. I said there was no way he could. He said he could, the man's wife said, so he opened the double doors and had it in. I was amazed that it could fit in. He had no problems. That's a joke. Alligator and Florida man, October. We're back together in the news in October when two men allegedly filmed themselves letting a gator bite them. And bite him on the arm and pouring beer in its mouth.
Not to be outdone, though.
Not to be outdone.
Another guy.
A man in Pinellas County was charged after he allegedly performed sex acts on an Olaf in Target.
Yeah, see?
Never get enough. November, Florida man continued to provide classic stories, whether he's caught eating tacos when burglarizing Taco Bell or leaving behind his cell phone while stealing condoms from Walmart. Another Florida man topped them when arrested for attacking an elderly man who asked them to stop masturbating in a Miami parking lot.
I love that guy's like, please stop masturbating. He's like, no, old man, I'll kill you.
And December, we must have missed this one. Could have been complete with a Florida man Christmas tale. This year's involved a man who was arrested giving out marijuana for the holiday. When
Merry Christmas.
When police asked why he was dishing out weed, he said, because it's Christmas.
Yeah, what other reason?
Yeah, that's all the reason
man.
you need.
Florida man, thank you for a great decade.
Thanks,
you've really
man.
been here for us, Florida man. Thank you.
Newport Richie, some classics.
Classics. Oh man. Okay, what is our big news story of the day?
Big news story of the day. Big news story of the day. Florida man wakes up to find thief sucking his toes in brazen and bizarre break-in.
Whoa, wait, what?
Yep.
That's not a thief. I feel like we have misidentified what this is.
Well, a Florida man reportedly awoke to a burglar sucking his toes. The bizarre...
That's not... All right. A home invader, yes. A burglar, what did he steal? The man's heart. Like, what happened here?
All right, let's
You
see
can't
this.
just say he's a burglar when nothing... They're saying a burglar broke in and then sucked a man's toes is not the story here.
All right, well, let's see where this goes. The bizarre and Braden break-in took place on Christmas Eve. The startled homeowner then asked the stranger what he was doing, who said he was there to suck toes.
Merry Christmas.
Police say a fight broke out and the suspect attempted to grab the man's genitals. He claimed he had a gun, but no weapon was produced. The victim managed to get the man out of his home, who then allegedly broke a window and the victim's car windshield in rage. Police, including sniffer dogs, are yet to track down the suspect. He's still out there.
He's still at large? Was this Santa? Y'all, was this Santa? Did Santa break into this man's... Santa came through the chimney and was like, ho, 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 I like those toes. And then went over and was like, well, no cookies for Santa, eh, naughty boy? And then started sucking on them toes. And this guy was like, Santa, what are you doing here? And Santa was like, getting my Christmas present. And then the guy kicked him out and Santa broke his car. He's like, they'll teach you, bitch. And then Santa got in his sleigh and flew off. It checks out because no one's found him. But he's not a burglar. Note, nothing was stolen.
Yeah.
This is a mislabeled thing. Home invader, yes.
He may be
Burglar,
a home invader, but not a burglar.
That's
Not a
right.
burglar.
Thank you. He would not be charged for burglary.
Yeah.
So he broke into the house. This has to be someone that this dude knows, right? No one just breaks into a house to suck toes.
Yeah. There's...
You can go anywhere and suck toes.
Can you?
I think that's the least offensive thing you can do. I'm sure you could go somewhere and be like, yo, I want to suck them toes. And someone would let you.
I mean, yeah, you're probably not wrong.
I know I'm not wrong.
Somebody's going to let you suck their toes.
Someone out there is going to let you suck on their toes. Someone is out there for you.
It might not be the person you want, but somebody.
Yeah, it may not be the toes you want. They may be nasty. They may have like a, toe stench. But guess what?
Athlete's
You can
foot.
suck on them. Yeah.
So that's a thing. Then
It
we
definitely
also
was.
had Florida woman arrested for threatening to get McDonald's sauce by any means necessary.
What does that mean?
All right. So first off, let me.
McDonald's sauce by any means necessary.
So here's her.
Here's the thing. I think I know this person. I think I know this person.
All right. Well, she tried to rob a McDonald's because they did not serve dipping sauce along with her food, a report said Monday. McGuire Marie McLaughlin, 19, was denied the condiment at a McDonald's in Vero Beach, Florida, and
Of
pledged
course.
to obtain the dipping sauce by whatever means necessary.
Why is she breaking out Malcolm X to rob a McDonald's? That's rude as shit.
The fracas allegedly took place about 4 a.m. New Year's Day when police arrived to witness McLaughlin yelling profanities at the drive-thru because she claims she did not receive all her food. An employee advised McLaughlin that the dipping sauce cost 25 cents. Read the police report from the Indian River County Sheriff's Office. Read. McLaughlin further stated she would be getting the sauce by whatever means necessary. However, cannot specify what she meant by that. McDonald's employees said they feared for their safety. The McLaughlin was taken into custody for disorderly conduct. I'm thinking football stuff. Unnecessary contact. McLaughlin was taken into custody for disorderly conduct. She needed replaced in mechanical restraints by the arresting officers because she kept locking her legs, refusing to walk forward. Cops also said they smelled...
Wait!
What?
Oh, all right. Hold on. Here we go. Never mind.
They smelled alcohol.
Yeah, all right. All right, that makes more sense.
Yeah.
I was about to say, this girl about to go to jail and fight the police over 25-cent dipping sauce?
Oh, yeah. No, she was wasted.
She is drunk. She is out of her mind.
Yeah. No
There's
doubt.
no... Of all the things to be concerned about, look, I get it. McDonald's, sometimes they screw you. And maybe I live in a perfect world where if I ask for extra dipping sauce, they just give it to me. Sometimes they give me too much dipping sauce. I'm like, I don't even need this much dipping sauce.
That's what I'm saying, too. Sometimes they give you an extra barbecue sauce. I'm like, it was too much.
It all balances. It karmically balances out. You just sometimes get extra, and sometimes they charge you 25 cents. Girl, pay the 25 cents. It ain't that big a deal. It's just dipping sauce. They aren't trying to scam you. By any means necessary, I feel like it's too much. It's too much means necessary.
Oh, yeah.
Any means, that's too much means. Don't do that. Don't do that.
Honestly, here's the thing. With alcohol, she's in a rage. She wants her sauce, whatever. She would have eaten that chocolate bar edible. She probably would have been laughing. Like, I didn't get my sauce. I just kept eating and forgot about it.
We're just saying cut your alcoholic rage with some good old-fashioned weed.
Exactly. Come on.
Keep off that meth. Get weed instead.
Listen, it's Florida. They're going to do the meth anyway.
You're right. They've laced that weed with meth. What are we talking about? That's Florida, all right.
That's Florida.
All right, Crendor, what is our big news story of the day?
Big news story of the day. Kansas man tries to settle ugly custody battle with trial by combat with Japanese swords.
I mean, it's Kansas, so, where else are you going to find trial by combat and Japanese swords? It makes sense.
All right, hold on. Okay. A Kansas man has thrown down the gauntlet to his ex-wife and her attorney, seeking court permission to settle their child custody case on the field of battle.
I love that he's seeking court commit. He's like, Your Honor, I want to fight for my honor with my sword. And he unsheathes his katana, and the judge is like, I'll allow it.
David Ostrom, 40, claims in court papers that ex-wife Bridget Ostrom, 38, and her attorney, Matthew Hudson, have already destroyed him legally in their ongoing legal battle in Iowa. I now wish to give them the chance to meet me on the field of battle, where I will rend their souls from their ... bodies, Ostrom wrote in the filing.
Wait, what? Wait. For flourish, he said, I will rend their souls from their bodies.
No, he said, where I will rend their souls from their bodies.
Oh, yeah, I like this.
He asked the judge for a 3-month delay so he could obtain Japanese samurai swords ready for his planned combat.
Wait a minute, he doesn't even own them?
He doesn't even own them yet. He said he got the idea after seeing the New York case of Richard Luthman, the Staten Island attorney who also sought trial by combat to settle a beef with another lawyer and his clients. To this day, trial by combat has never been explicitly banned or restricted as a right in the United States, Ostrom argued in court records, adding that it was used as recently as 1818 in British court.
Shut up. Shut up.
Hey, you know, as recent as 200 years ago. He told the Des Moines Register that his wife could choose her attorney as her champion to stand for her in battle. I think I've met Mr. Hudson's absurdity with my own absurdity, he told the paper. If Mr. Hudson's willing to do it, I will meet him. I don't think he's got the guts to do it.
You know what? I would love to see two lawyers go at it with swords. I'd actually very much like to see that.
That would be pretty great, honestly. Hudson referred to himself as the potential combatant in his own cheeky legal response filed in Shelby County District Court. Although the respondent and the potential combatant do have souls to be rended, they have respectfully request that the court not order this done, Hudson wrote.
I love how they had to make that clear. Yes, you do have souls and they can be rended. However, we would like you not to do that, please.
He noted that the potentially life-ending ramifications of a duel surely outweigh their fight over property tax and custody issues.
Of course. That's so funny. Oh.
Until the proper procedural steps to initiate a court proceeding are followed, this court will take no further action concerning any motion, objection, or petition filed by either party at this time, the judge ruled. So, no trial by combat.
No trial by combat, unfortunately.
Dude.
That's so funny.
Do you think Kansas man could be the soul renderer and, like, fight Florida man?
I hate the fact that there is now a character named the Soul Renderer. I hate that so much. I just like that. What about that guy? Was that other guy also from Kansas? The guy who had the mace and did cosplay and like hurt people?
I don't remember.
Where's he from?
I don't even remember that.
This sounds like the beginning of a D&D party.
It does.
I am the Soul Renderer.
Or a LARPing session.
Both would be great. Would be wonderful.
And the other two stories, just briefly, deaf man sues Pornhub over lack of closed captions. Come on, give him some closed captions. And then,
come on, someone get in there and do that.
Falling iguanas are because they're cold-blooded and they're just like falling asleep, and then they kind of hibernate, and then they wake up after a while and they warm up. So
right,
watch
they fall
out.
on people. It's science. Yeah. It's science.
Science. And they're just like, shit, I'm back. So watch out.
Speaking of science, someone figure out how to make subtitles for porn. Get on that.
Yeah, get on that. So
closed caption porn. Oh, can't believe it.
That's it.
All right. What is our big news story of the day?
Big news story of the day. Georgia man charged with mailing meth-filled Christmas card to inmate.
Hit me with this.
A man sent some illegal holiday cheer to a woman in jail, and he ended up getting arrested himself, officials in Georgia County say. News outlet report 40-year-old Timothy Lee Snow sent the woman a Christmas card filled with drugs.
Wait, all right, time out. How, though? I've tried to put things in Christmas cards, and they become, like, too bunched up. And then you can't get them in the mail, and the mail's like, you got to pay extra for this.
Yeah, it's like the envelope's just, like, expanded. Like you put, like, Mentos and Coke in there.
Mentos and Coke.
So imagine they just, like, get the Christmas card, and they're just like, there's something in here? They're like, no, he just likes to use big envelopes. Deputies intercepted a contraband-filled card filled with methamphetamine and Suboxone and began investigating. On January 9th, deputies followed Snow as he left his residence and found him with meth, Xanax, and a revolver. When they searched his home, deputies found more meth, Suboxone, marijuana, steroids, packing materials, a shotgun, and a rifle.
Like, my favorite part is he's, like, prepared.
He is prepared.
Packing materials, the whole thing.
Snow was arrested and charged with possession of a firearm, possession of methamphetamine with intent to distribute and giving an inmate drugs, news outlets reported. Odom, who is already in jail, now faces additional charges, including attempt to commit offenses pertaining to the possession of drugs and use of communications facilities in a drug transaction. It's unclear whether Snow has an attorney who can comment on his behalf, which means he doesn't. Man, and if you look at these people, they look like just how you would imagine.
Wow, here's the thing.
They look normal, but they look like the soul is drained from them.
Well, that's because they're going to jail. I feel like when that happens, it's a little soul draining. But the guy kind of looks like, you know, you're a little crazy uncle. But he looks like someone who's definitely be a member of a family.
Oh, yeah.
The woman straight up just looks like a mom. Like a mom in jail who just probably is in jail for some dumb reason. But she has the mom cut. She has the look of like, I'm going to speak to your supervisor.
Oh, yeah, she does.
You know, she doesn't look like trouble.
Looks like she got a little too addicted to like painkillers and Xanax or something. And then
that probably
led down
happens
the bad
to
road.
Moms, yeah. She's the mom who likes to have a few too many drinks during the day.
Oh, yeah, she's the wine mom. Started as the wine mom, no doubt her. Speaking of which, Xanax always gets a bad rap, but I have like my emergency minimal dose of Xanax for when I travel. Or if I have like a panic
Xanax gets
attack.
a bad rap.
But all it really does, well, that's because people are like, yo, I'm going to take like a bar of Xanax and shit, and then they like pass out. But like, you know, when you use it properly, like most drugs that aren't methamphetamines, you know, it like helps you a bit. Like if I'm having a panic attack or something, because your brain's just like, we're going to die, my heart's beating fast, what's going on? You like, Xanax kind of slows your brain down to be like, okay. It slows that like process of thinking down in your brain where you're like, I'm gonna die, to just be like, okay, I'm normal now, and it just it slows it down a bit. But that's why I think people get addicted to it, which is why, you know, you're not supposed to take it all the time or a lot of it.
Yeah, I don't. Yeah, I guess I need to do more drugs.
Like I had to take one before going to Disneyland last week, so I was like, this is it. This is over. Plane's going to crash. Everything's over. Everything's bad. I'm going to blah, blah. And then you take that and you're like, okay, maybe it won't crash. Maybe we're going to be fine. And it's like, when you think about that, I always, in my brain, I'm like, we're going to be fine. It's like my brain's talking to me and my brain, but my brain is me. And so it's like, we got to end the show.
Yep, don't have it. Don't have that.
I'm going crazy.
Yep, don't have that problem. All right, Crendor, what is our big news story of the day?
Big news story of the day. Package labeled bag full of drugs leads to Florida arrests. 2 men charged with drug trafficking could have done a better job hiding their wares than using a package labeled bag full of drugs. They probably thought it was like, nobody will check this. It's ironic or something. Ian Simmons and Joshua Reinhardt.
They put the hammer down on him is what happened.
Yeah. Both 34 were pulled over in Santa Rosa County on Saturday after a trooper clocked them going 95.
Oh, my God. There's your problem, boys.
On the interstate's panhandle. The trooper determined that Reinhardt was the subject of an active felony warrant for violation of probation in Orange County. Woo! Santa Rosa County deputy arrived to assist, and a canine alerted the presence of contraband in the vehicle, the arrest report said. Authorities found approximately 75 grams of methamphetamine, 1.36 kilograms of the date rape drug GHB, 1 gram of cocaine, 3.6 grams of fentanyl, and 15 MDMA tablets and drug paraphernalia.
Where the hell were they going?
I don't know. Well, I guess they're selling drugs.
Both men, yeah, yes, you're right.
Where are they going? I don't know. To sell drugs. It's my best guess. Both men were taken into custody and taken to jail. Woo! They are charged with trafficking in many things. 3 counts: possession of controlled substance, possession of paraphernalia, blah, blah, blah. Note to self, do not traffic your illegal narcotics in bags labeled bag full of drugs. Deputies wrote on Facebook. Our canines can read. Ho ho.
Can I ask you a question?
Sure.
Do you think it was like a funny goof to them? Like, this is like when I label my porn folder porn folder, right? Or do you think they were so high, they're like, dude, just write it down so we remember which bag we put them in.
It's a good question.
I just want to know why. That's the real story here. Why did they do that?
Which one's the drug bag and which one's the bag of the Chick-fil-A or something? That's
right.
The
So
drug
it wasn't like a comedy of errors where like they switched the bags on accident and then like a bunch of high school kids have the bag of drugs and they have like a bag of candy that they had to sell, right? Like,
Yeah.
Oh no, my drugs! And they're like, let's go to the grocery store and sell candy. And they open it and it's actually drugs. And they're like, what do we do? And then one kid's like, we still sell it. They sit outside the grocery store and they're like, get your candy here. And then old grandmas buy the drugs and they're like, strip it in the street. It's a comedy. I think that's an American Pie movie, I'm pretty sure.
It probably is, honestly. One of the like seventh one down, like American
Pie
Drug Festival. Yeah. We gotta get to the drug festival. Sarah's gonna be there. Oh, do you think she'll do drugs with me?
Yeah, and then it's like, what's that one song they always play in those movies? That's like, right?
What?
You know the one song, and they're like, as God is my witness, this year we're all getting laid. It's like,
I know what you're talking about now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It doesn't make it good. I'm just saying that's what happened.
Yeah, I get what you're saying.
He's a boy from the wrong side of the tracks. She's a girl with everything to look forward to. But one day when they meet at the barber shop, right? That's every time.
Yeah, I get what you're saying.
90s movie trailers.
That would be kind of funny if we were in a 90s movie trailer. It's just like, these are two guys just looking to have a good time. We're just like, yo, we're looking to have a good time. Like, but one thinks he's got AIDS for the 8th time.
What? Oh, so you have the record scratch.
Yeah. It's like, I'm a hypochondriac. This time it's gotta be it. And then it cuts to like the doctor being like, no, you don't. You don't actually have AIDS. Again, I told you this the last 7 times. And you're like, oh. And then it's like, it's just a common cold.
Also, I want to point out, I think that Blink-182 album came out in 2000, so this is still definitely not the 90s. But you know what? It all blends together, so who the shit cares?
Yeah.
All right. Well, Crendor,
yeah.
What is our big news story of the day?
Let's see. The city of Lakeland, Florida has recently been forced to close one of its public parks due to a snake orgy.
Well, we found our story.
Wait, they didn't even have an article. It's just a fact.
Wait, what?
People are just linking a tweet to snake orgy.
I like how we're literally both Googling snake orgy.
Okay, here we go. Florida snake orgy. Things got quite spicy. All right, I'm going to have to report this article. Near Lake Hollingsworth in Lake Florida, after residents began reporting snake sightings to the Lakeland Parks and Recreation Department, the department and city's Public Works Department began investigating. Turns out it's mating season for the Florida water snake, and large groups of snakes have gathered near the lake for a giant orgy. Caution tape was put up around the area to increase public awareness of the snake orgy.
Of the snake orgy? I don't like this.
It appears they have a congregation for mating, the department said in a Facebook post. They are non-venomous, generally not aggressive, as long as people don't disturb them. Just let them have sex, all right? Just let them do it. Once mating season's over, the department said the snakes should go their separate ways. They are an important part of the ecosystem, should not be disturbed, the department said, adding these love gatherings are an annual occurrence. Dude, they have annual orgies. Florida water snakes are a native
I know some
species.
YouTubers like that.
Pretty much anyone over 1 million subs, you know they're part of the orgy.
Yeah, I wish someone would invite me.
You're not 1 million yet.
I know. I never will be. I'll constantly be I'll be like that picture, a gif of Conan O'Brien looking in the window.
You get close, you start hemorrhaging subs. There's like, just don't let them in. Don't let them in.
It's true. Every time.
Florida water snakes are a native species whose habits include aquatic environments. They are generally found resting in tree limbs over water or basking on shorelines or banging in the grass. I added that last part. And that's the snake orgy.
That's the best story. That's a good story for a
Yeah.
we had a fun week. Good story. Good story.
Best story we've had in a while.
Yeah. All right. Well, that's it for us. I don't even need to question it. Like, nature does nature. I get it. All right. What is our big news story of the day?
Big news story of the day is actually a pretty big news story because everyone's tweeting it at us.
I think I know what this is.
It is the Mad Mike Hughes story. When did we talk about Mad Mike?
I don't remember when this was, but I remember that the story was that he was going to prove the Earth was flat by launching himself in a steam-powered rocket into space.
Yeah.
To prove the Earth was flat. And at the time, we said this was a terrible idea. This was one of the worst ideas we had ever heard. And I shouldn't be laughing because it's actually very sad.
Yeah, when was this? I don't know. If I had to guess, I'd say it was like a year and a half ago.
I would say it was maybe 3 months ago. I would say maybe at latest summertime last year.
All right, that's probably more accurate. Either way.
A year and a half? What? How do you live? Every time I'm like, remember that? You're like, was that 1983? I'm like, no.
I think I overestimate, you underestimate. It's probably somewhere in the middle.
Yeah, it's probably somewhere in the middle. Sure.
So Mad Mike Hughes, 64, died after crash landing his steam-powered rocket shortly after takeoff near
I shouldn't
Barstow.
laugh, but like, guys, we all knew this was going to happen.
Yeah, it was.
Why didn't no one try to stop him? Why? Where are his loved ones?
Can't stop him, man. Can't stop Mad Mike. Video. A video on social media shows a rocket being fired into the sky before plummeting to the ground nearby. Hughes was well known for his belief that the Earth was flat. He hoped to prove his theory by going to space. Saturday's launch was reportedly filmed as part of a Homemade Astronauts, a TV series about amateur rocket makers to be aired on the U.S. Science Channel. The project had to be carried out on a tight budget. Ugh. It's not good for the budget.
There's a reason why NASA is like $1 billion enterprise.
With the help of his partner, Waldo Stinks.
Hold on. What's this guy's name?
Waldo Stinks. This can't be real. Waldo Stinks. Waldo Stinks. When I type in Waldo Stinks, the top result is Waldo Stinks' daughter.
What?
Yeah.
Waldo Stinks. What's funny is you just simply can't find him.
I know. All right, there's his daughter, I guess. It's like the top 3 results are his daughter. On the realrocketman.com. What the Stephanie Barden, Waldo's daughter. Where's Waldo? Literally. Oh, there's Waldo.
It takes you a minute every time.
Yeah, it always takes a little bit to find Waldo.
Oh my god.
Waldo looks exactly what I thought he would look like.
I gotta find him. Images.
There he is.
Oh my god, yeah he does. Waldo Stakes looks exactly like what Waldo Stakes would look like.
That's Waldo's daughter.
She looks like a person I actually dated once, Crendor.
Oh yeah. I think you're right.
Yeah, like maybe what, 2012-ish?
Yeah. I think you're actually spot on. So where am I? With the help of his partner, Waldo Stakes, Hughes was trying to reach an altitude of 5,000 feet while riding a steam-powered rocket, according to Space.com. In the video of the launch, a parachute can be seen trailing behind the rocket, apparently deployed too early, seconds after takeoff. In the tweet, the Science Channel said Hughes had died pursuing his dream.
Of proving the Earth was flat?
That's his dream. San Bernardino County Sheriff's Department said its officers were called to a rocket launch around 14 local time. Sheriff's office said a man was pronounced deceased after the rocket crashed in the open desert. Hughes' publicist confirmed to U.S. media outlets it was the pilot who had been killed. Darren Schuster, a former rep for Hughes, told TMZ the Daredevil was, quote, one of a kind. Quote, When God made Mike, he broke the mold.
Oh, no.
The man was the real deal and
Oh,
lived to
no.
push the edge. He wouldn't have gone out any other way. Rip, he said. Had Mike and his assistants built the homemade rocket in his backyard, they did build it in his backyard.
I was about to say, what?
Yeah, built it around $18,000 for that rocket. Uses steam ejected through a nozzle for propulsion.
Oh,
Neat.
so maybe Waldo Stakes was the guy who helped build the rocket. Because I don't see any connection. I've been looking at Waldo Stakes trying to figure out how he's connected to this. Mostly so I can justify the fact that I'm kind of attracted to his daughter. And so I want to make sure they're not crazy. But it turns out that...
They are crazy.
No, basically he designs like vehicles to break land speed records. So he's associated with all sorts of things where he like builds giant rocket-looking cars in order to he's trying to break the 2,000 mile per hour land speed record. So I guess he knows how to build things that look like rockets. And I guess he helped Mad Mike build his thing.
That makes sense then. I see.
Basically, I'm just saying, Waldo's daughter. What's her name? Waldina?
Stephanie. Waldina Stephanie.
Stephanie Waldo Stakes. Call me.
Yeah. Let's see. Oh my God. This story, I found the old article. I was right. November 27th, 2017.
But when did we find the article?
I'm pretty sure it was around there. Maybe like early 2018 then.
All right.
I'm telling you, it was like 2 years.
Okay. I don't know what I believe anymore.
Either way, the daredevil who lived in Apple Valley made headlines internationally when he announced his intention to prove his theory that the Earth was flat. In March last year, Hughes managed an altitude of 1,870 feet before deploying his parachute and landing with a bump. Oh, maybe that was it, March of last year. Maybe we covered this multiple times.
That's what I'm saying. I think that's what we talked about last time.
Yeah, I think you're right. So it was like a year ago. All right, yeah, we're in the middle. Speaking afterwards, Hughes said, quote, "Am I glad I did it? Yeah, I guess. I'll feel it in the morning. I won't be able to get out of bed. At least I can go home and have dinner and see my cats tonight." He set a Guinness World Record in 2002 for longest limousine jump over 31 meters in a Lincoln Town Car stretched limo.
All right. Well, I mean, that's a thing. I feel bad because it's not a good story, but we had to follow up on it. Everyone wanted us to.
Yeah, we had
the man
to follow
died,
up on
but
it.
like also don't do rocketry, y'all.
He's a madman. Like, you know, if you're in the secret lab long enough, something's gonna blow up on you.
You're right. They called him a madman. When that happens, when that's your fate, you have to like maybe turn it back a little bit. Maybe get the hell out of there. When they call you madman, it's time to run.
Let's see. Let's get a happy story to spice this up.
Yes.
All right. Oh man, we got two options. One is, it feels like a hot tub. Wendy's employees fired after man takes bath in restaurant sink. And then we've also got, Florida man tried to escape cops by stripping naked. Ribeyes fell out of his pants.
Both these stories are good. I'll let you decide.
All right. Oh, wait, this one, Wendy's one's really short. They'll do both. Greenville, Michigan. Several employees have been fired over a viral video that shows a man bathing in a Wendy's restaurant sink. The video has been making its rounds on social media, shows a shirtless man inside the restaurant's kitchen. Employees can also be heard laughing while another person in uniform throws something into the sink and yells, "Wash yourself!" In the video, the shirtless man is seen scrubbing himself, saying, "Feels like a hot tub." Since the video is uploaded, it has been viewed thousands of times now. Many people are calling for employees to be held accountable. I mean, I don't wish bad on I don't wish bad on anybody, but I sure hope they get fired, said customer Michael Guerrera. The fast food chain later released a statement in regard to the video, saying, "This egregious behavior is completely unacceptable and uncounter our safety, training, and operational standards. Please don't sue us. The health department has also since evaluated the restaurant. Everything's been sanitized.
Can I tell you, it's a little weird that every time I hear a story about someone either finding a body part or bathing in stuff or doing something weird, it's always a Wednesdays.
Wednesdays?
I don't know what's happening to me today.
It's always
I can't
Wednesdays.
talk. It's always a Wednesdays.
Always Wednesdays. Also, this guy that's like in the hot tub, the sink or whatever, like, what's he expect it to feel like? Like, you pour hot water and soap in a thing, and he's like, wow, it feels like a hot bath. Like, no shit, that's what it is.
I can't believe that it's just every time it's a Wendy's. Every time.
It really
You never
is,
hear about the people that are like, at McDonald's, a man got naked and took a bath. McDonald's where people go and have fights. But no one's taking a bath anywhere.
Ronald McDonald disciplines you hard. He doesn't just fire you. He comes after you. You wake up, you see like a clown head in your bed.
Put your hands behind your back.
You're coming with me. And,
don't look at me.
A week later, he was gone, and nobody knows where he went.
Yeah, he was gone. That was it. Yeah, Ronald
McDonald doesn't fuck around.
I feel like you don't hear stories about like Jack in the Box at rallies because no one really cares. But you know that's happened at rallies. You know someone's put like their balls in the meat. You know that's happened at rallies. Oh, for sure. Rallies or checkers, as they're called in the South.
Hmm. Yeah,
for sure.
That's a whole different story. All right, then we've got Florida man tried to escape cops by stripping naked. Ribeyes fell out of his pants. Daytona Beach, a shoplifting suspect trying to get away from a grocery store stripped naked and steaks tumbled out of his pants. Police say they found Stefan Short, 28, of DeLand, Florida, running out of the store in the buff, and when he refused to stop, officers tasered him. The incident occurred Friday night at the Save-A-Lot in DeLand. Officers were sent to the store and were told Short was being pinned to the ground by a manager and a civilian, but he was fighting them, the police report said. Witnesses reported to police that in an attempt to get away, Short wriggled out of his clothes. Police said Short stole 4 packs of ribeye steaks valued at $41.24. Short was charged. I know. Short was charged with resisting an officer without violence, resisting a store employee while committing a theft, and first-degree petty theft. He was held without bail Monday at the Volusia County Branch Jail. An officer.
They have footage of him stuffing those steaks down. I want to know how he tried to do this.
Yeah,
those are like steaks.
Those are like big steaks, right?
Yeah, like how did he think he was going to pull this off? Did he just walk up and do it and hope he was going to do it quickly enough to leave? Or was he sneaky where he's like walking around the store and he put one down, then he walked by again and got another one and put another one down? Like, how did he pull this off? Because this is ballsy. 4 steaks? Who's he trying to feed?
Why did he put them in his pants?
Well, I mean, there's plastic wrap, so.
Couldn't he have just like used a bag? Just bring a bag, and then someone probably he's probably buying the steaks, putting them in his bag, and then he'd have a better chance walking out.
But here's the thing, normal looking dude. So you're right, he could have just gone in with a bag and been like, oh, I forgot a thing or something. I don't know.
Listen, I pay money for my stuff, so I don't know.
Well, if you don't have the money and you want steaks, I guess you're gonna steal them. My question is, I feel like there's a better solution than getting 4 at a time. Yeah. 4 at a time down your pants seems like they're going to recognize that.
Yeah, they're going to recognize that. That's a lot of pant steaks. An officer arriving at the store saw coupon books and packs of meat scattered on the store's floor and a naked Short running. Store manager reported that Short was a regular shoplifter at the store, and that
All right.
When other shoppers reported they saw him stuffing meat in his pants, the manager stopped him. Short was taken to the hospital after it was discovered that a taser prong struck him in the genitals.
Oh my God.
That's where it ends.
Oh, he's gonna need that cold meat down there. He's gonna get me a frozen steak for my balls.
Yeah, he's gonna need that one. That's gonna sting for a while.
Oh, man, that guy, his testicles went through a range of emotions. He had cold meat down there, and he got shocked. That poor man. That poor man.
That's a lot that happened in a short period of time.
All right, Crendor, what is our big news story? Before we do this, I was like prepping for big news stories of the day, and for some reason, under Florida man, there was just a headline. There's no article at all. I can't find it, but it says, "Stop huffing that frog's ass." And I don't know what that means, but it's the most Florida thing I've ever heard. So, what is our big news story of the day?
Taco. Oh yeah, I tweeted about the Taco Bell Nintendo 64 toys. Remember those?
No.
Those are great. I remember because I was like 5 years old or 6 years old, and I got one. I was like, "Dude, this is crazy." It was just a little like puzzle thing, but when you're 6, that shit's crazy.
Oh, it's crazy, all right.
Oh, wait, there's one that says Florida man threatens to conquer planet Earth with his army of turtles. I feel like I've read that one.
Why are we not using that one?
Hold on. All right. Florida turtle army. Did I ever think I would Google turtle man or Florida turtle man?
I'm not sure what you thought
army.
you would Google.
This happened a year ago. I feel like I brought this up.
Maybe. A turtle army? Maybe. It could have happened before. History is cyclical.
Well, this happened in 2019, so I feel like I definitely talked about it before. I'm pretty sure. It's just a guy that said, okay, I'll read it quick, and I'll do the other story. So, authorities received multiple calls about a man who's disturbing the peace at several businesses in Indialantic, a town 75 miles southeast of Orlando. Suspect later identified as 61-year-old Thomas Devaney Lane was calling himself, quote, the Saint, and allegedly his army of turtles would, quote, destroy everyone.
Can I tell you, when I was like 11, I think I thought this too. I thought I would have like an army of small animals, and I'd be like, go, my minions. And they'd take out idiots. I feel like this guy just never grew out of that, and I kind of appreciate it.
Lane accompanied a responding officer back to police headquarters where he pounded on the walls and glass before leaving the station. Officers later found him in a parking lot of a 7-Eleven where he cursed out customers and called 911. Lane allegedly told 911 operator that the responding officer, quote, needed to leave now or you will all be sorry you effed with the Saint.
I feel like we've done this before, but I don't care. This is a great story.
He refused to exit his vehicle and was taken out by force. Continued to shout obscenities while warning passerbys about the army of turtles. He was arrested and charged with disturbing the peace. Resisting arrest without
at least
violence.
Warning people. He's like,
Yeah.
all right.
Your
Beware.
doom is imminent. So, great story.
Yeah.
Now we have this other story, which is Bath Township Police confiscate ancient sword of the Meth King and other weapons.
No. What? Wait, what?
Yeah.
Wait, what?
That's what it says.
I'm sorry. Ancient sword of the Meth King?
Yes. Ancient sword of the Meth King.
All right. Before we read this article,
Yeah.
what do you think the ancient sword of the Meth King looks like?
Well, I see a picture of it, I think.
Damn it. All right. Well, tell me about it.
It's got big-ass teeth on it.
Wait,
it's a
what
large
do you mean
blade.
Big ass teeth.
Yeah, like the blade teeth, the blade of the teeth, or hold on, look at this.
What do you mean, the blade of the teeth?
Or the blade is teeth of the sword.
You know, the blade of the teeth.
of the
I'm
blade.
Like, I don't know what you mean.
See that?
Oh my God.
Yeah.
What the hell is this? Looks like a weapon you would get in a fantasy game.
Dude, that could kill the Night King easily.
Oh my God. So it's all right. For people who don't know what this looks like, it has a katana hilt, but then running the actual blade itself looks like the blade one of the orcs would have in Lord of the Rings, but then sticking off of the blade are other tinier blades riveted into the blade.
Yeah, just Google Meth King blade. You'll find it.
Oh my God, that's fantastic. I love this thing.
The Bath Township Police Department confiscated interesting items during an overnight traffic stop. According to a post on Lansing Area Department's wildly popular Facebook page, the officers found very odd combination of illegally possessed weapons and methamphetamine during a traffic stop.
Oh, I guess we should mention also in the photo are other knives, what appear to be drugs, many bullets, 2 guns, and yeah, just a lot of stuff. So, I mean, yes, there was this magic blade,
but do you
also,
really need all those other things when you have the blade of the Meth King? I feel like every Florida villain we've ever talked about is in search of the blade.
Can I be real with you? This is how we start our Florida Man comic. Newport Richie's out there like, I must have the blade. Then you'll die, Florida Man. Right? Oh my God.
It's like the forming of the ring. They're like 5 meth heads using their powers.
Oh my God. Dwarves are for some reason a part of this. And all of it forged by Tito Watts. When a Florida Man breaks the blade, all of the meth heads in it, all their spirits will consume the guy who had it. And he's like, no! Oh, yeah, I'm ready. This is great.
Oh, yeah. You know, if Newport Richie got his hands on this blade, world's over.
World ending.
Yeah. The collection of items includes drugs, syringes, semi-automatic rifle, pistol, large knife, a hole punch, and a peculiar sword that looks like it was swiped.
Time out. A hole punch?
It also has in parentheses, more on that in a moment.
What?
A peculiar sword that looks like it's straight out of Lord of the Rings. Dude, they wish they had that in Lord of the Rings.
They would have killed every orc. Oh my God.
Bath PD, known for their comedic antics, dubbed the extravagant weapon the ancient sword of the Meth King, even though there was a relatively small
Wait a minute.
amount of drugs
So it didn't have a name before?
No.
I refuse to believe that. I think this is a cover-up. I know the police. I feel like they got their hands on it, and they're like, we have to make this a joke, or else people will find out that we have the one true blade. Oh, yeah.
Hashtags like obviously a high point and Lord of the Rings meets John Wick also accompany the Facebook post, which has been shared 1,000 times, generally meets 1,500 comments since it was posted. As for the hole punch, it appears it was left in the photo by the officers as a joke. A quick skim of the comments will give you more information. It is not considered a deadly
they
weapon.
think they're funny.
Yeah, they threw the... Oh, I guess the hole punch is like up against the wall. So
yeah, it's like part of it. Here's the thing. They're trying to cover it up. They're trying to play like I bet they put the guns there and they put all these other things there to throw you off the scent. They have the blade. Florida Man, they have the blade.
Yeah, they got that blade. They know
Johnny Law has the blade, and it's only a matter of time before Newport Richie breaks into that police station.
They know how dire the situation is.
Yeah, they're trying to keep it off the streets, but it's only a matter of time. Only Florida Man can wield the blade properly.
It's like Harry Potter with the thing. The blade always finds its way back to those who need it.
Yes. Yeah, there's going to be like a little meth head somewhere. He's going to pull it out of a trucker hat, and it'll magically slay a snake that's all jacked up on radiation.
Oh, my God, no. He uses his blade to open his bag of meth.
Well, yeah, I mean, obviously, that's why.
Yeah, and then the meth just magically, like, goes up to his nose, and it's like, I don't even know if that's how you do meth. They snort it, or they, like... I honestly don't know.
I don't know either. I assume you... Here's the thing. Crendor and I don't do hard drugs.
I just eat my weed chocolate and drink some wine.
So we assume everything goes up your nose. And if you're injecting it, that seems way too much. It seems like too much time. Maybe they put it on like a spoon. Mm-hmm. Right? I think I saw that in Breaking Bad.
Do they? By the way, I got like a cookies and cream weed chocolate. It was pretty good.
So my question is, do you put it on a spoon then inject it? Or do you like slurp it? Like it's like a delicious candy. Like,
all I know about the spoon is I always see people in movies like cooking the spoon with like a lighter. That's all I know.
See?
I don't even know what you do with it after they cook it in the thing.
I'm afraid we're going to get people who know too much to message us. And I'm going to let you know.
I've been doing methamphetamines for 45 years. And let me tell you something right now. This is how you do it. And if you want to get that blade, you got to come with me.
I don't want the blade, though. Only one man can wield that
Yeah.
blade. It's Florida Man. All others are unworthy.
That's true.
When he wields it, it glows with the power of the Tampa Bay.
It's like the orc blade. It glows blue
Yeah.
when meth is nearby.
Well, I can't believe that is the story we did, but that's the one we did.
Nice. Well.
Oh, my goodness. All right, Crendor, what is our big news story of the day?
All right, let's see. There's got to be something. Florida man arrested for impersonating an officer just days after going to jail for the same crime.
Well, we should have let him out days after. There's your problem. He impersonated an officer, and you let him out of jail days later.
That's true.
He learned nothing.
Now, here we go. Florida man arrested for throwing rocks at cars while naked. This guy does not care about corona. He's going to go out there. He's going to throw his rocks. All right?
Florida Man is impervious to your viruses.
Yeah.
Please, tell me.
Florida man is already a virus. Florida man was arrested for chucking rocks at passing cars while naked on his driveway on Tuesday. Multiple people witnessed the bizarre behavior of 35-year-old Dewey Khan and called authorities. Brevard County deputies showed up and found the naked suspect. It wasn't clear why the man was naked and throwing rocks. Khan was charged with exposure of sexual organs. That's it.
That's the story. No, that's not the
They
story.
didn't even ask him anything.
They didn't even ask him. They were like, we don't need to know why you were naked. Why don't we need to know that? That's the most important part of the story.
And I went to a different one, and they didn't ask him either. Why isn't anyone asking
Did the
him?
police just not ask him?
Like, hey, why are you throwing rocks? Like, that's all they
Hey,
had to
Dewey. Hey, Dewey, why are you throwing rocks?
say. He could have just been like, because I feel like it. And that would have been an answer.
Yeah, at least he would have had an answer. They were just like, we didn't bother. We put him in the car. We took him downtown. We booked him, and then we were done with it. We don't want to deal with this guy. He's always naked.
Yeah, there's so many things.
What a terrible story. Why don't we know? His nakedness is the key to... If it was just man throws rocks at passing car, normal story.
Yeah.
Idiot kids do that all the time.
Yeah.
But this guy is naked.
Yeah.
That's the key to the story.
That's the key. Like, why is he doing this? What drove him to this point?
Yeah, why would he be like, well, no clothes when I throw rocks at cars?
Yeah, I don't know. Also,
Is it a wind resistance thing? Was he like, I have to be pure? I don't know.
There's also Florida man tries to eat stolen debit card after being caught with it at Disney World.
First off, I love that he stole a debit card and went to Disney World.
Yeah.
I also love that he then almost got caught and was like, all right, I have to eat the evidence.
Yeah. He out of all the things, he just was like, I gotta eat it. Let's see. A Florida man allegedly attempted to eat a stolen debit card when he was confronted by police at Disney World. Orange County police deputies arrested Jose Herrera on Monday. He had been held by Disney security after being caught while buying gift cards and jewelry at Disney Springs, while Disney World Shopping Center with the stolen card, which is believed to have been taken from a deceased Ohio man. Herrera allegedly tried to eat the evidence of his crime, with officers witnessing him attempting to chomp down on the plastic before he could be questioned. When he was found to be holding a bag filled with white powder in his pocket.
There we go. That's why.
Herrera is said to have told officers, quote, I'm not going to lie. It's cocaine. Well, there it is.
Gotcha.
Herrera
Okay, yeah, gotcha.
purchased $400 in gift cards and one soft drink using the card.
He was thirsty. He had all that cocaine dust.
Yeah, before attempting to purchase another $360 worth of jewelry. He is also said to possess 13 other fraudulent debit and credit cards. Police charged him with multiple criminal counts, including possession of cocaine, credit cards, theft, fraud involving deceased person, making false statements, and other stuff. Although Herrera's alleged attempt to eat the debit card is unusual, people typically eat more plastic than some may think. A June 29 study found that humans end up eating an average of 5 grams of plastic every week. The shit? Amounts of suspects.
Why would they include that?
I don't know.
Why would they be like, just so you're aware, you're no better than him. You too eat plastic. You just don't know it. Why is that in there? Why is that in the story?
I don't know. Let's see. Normally, people eat drugs instead of credit cards. Attempts to destroy evidence.
Normally, people eat drugs, and that's the takeaway from this article. You know, normally, people eat drugs instead of credit cards. News.
Wait, decidedly edible items have also been consumed in evidence destroying attempts with baked goods in particular. A man in Portland, Oregon was arrested early Saturday morning after allegedly robbing in a donut shop with a hatchet before making off with a multitude of donuts that police later found him eating. Years earlier, a 62-year-old woman in Hong Kong was reported to have made a frantic attempt to wolf down 20 bread rolls she hadn't paid for before the authorities could haul her away. She was said to have felt unwell after the attempt.
No.
Well,
I feel bad because those are stories where the underlying thing is like that person was hungry, had no food, and this was like their last thing.
Oh, yeah.
Like, there's a sad story there.
there definitely
But
is.
also, I like how they're just like, these wacky people tried to eat all these donuts. Like, all right, okay.
Yep. Classic.
Classic. All right, Crendor, what is our big news story of the day?
Big news story of the big news story of the big news story of the day.
Someone needs to sample that and make us a jingle. It's
That
like,
would be good.
"Du-du-du-du-du, big news story, big news story.
Oh,
Du-du-du-du-du."
this is a huge news story. According to it's everywhere.
Okay.
Florida man arrested, charged with stealing 66 rolls of toilet paper from hotel.
I'd be lying if I didn't think about that. Like, I definitely was like, do you think people are just going to hotels and stealing toilet paper?
No doubt. A Florida man was arrested Thursday and charged with stealing 66 rolls of toilet paper from a Marriott in Orlando. He is not on a roll.
Boo! Boo!
Police say Angel Hernandezito was spotted by a security guard early Thursday morning placing a trash bag in his van. Guard was curious why someone would put a bag of trash in their own vehicle, so he peeked inside, saw it was full of toilet paper. It's valued at 99 cents a roll, though its true value may be much higher given the scarcity, during the coronavirus pandemic.
Time out.
Right.
There's no way hotel toilet paper is 99 cents a roll.
Oh, yeah, no.
There's no way. I refuse to believe that.
Yeah, I don't think so either. He told the police he planned to give it to a woman he knew who is poor and unemployed. He said he wanted to help the woman and her family. He was then charged with theft from public lodging establishment and a felony. He wouldn't be the first one to steal something from a hotel.
Also, he was definitely going to use that. He was hoarding.
Oh, yeah, without a
There's
doubt.
no way he knew
No
a
way.
family that needed it. Get out of town. That guy was like, soon all the toilet paper will be mine.
Yeah, he's definitely hoarding it.
I went online the other day because I, too, was like, I wonder, do they finally deliver toilet paper again? Because I don't want to go out and get it. And I'm definitely getting down to the point where I actually went on a website that counts how many days you have left of toilet paper. You tell it what rolls you have and how many you have, and it's like, all right, so how often do you use it? And then it gives you an amount of days left. And so it was like, you have 9 days of toilet paper left. And I was like, oh, damn, I got to get some more. So I've been going online and looking up kind of, what prices are and if any are available. And for the most part, none are available. I'm like, I can wait. I'm in no rush. But I did see people are on eBay selling toilet paper for like $40.
That's insane.
Yes. Look, there's no one needs it that bad. Paper towels work. Rags work. If you need to take a shower, you can take a shower. It's fine. No one's judging you. Trust me.
That's the thing. I think we talked about it last week. It's like, you can just take a shower. You can you're not going anywhere.
Yeah.
So like, there you go. Like that should be like the least of your worries.
It's very strange. I think the bigger worry is sanitizing things and people buying. I saw this one guy who bought 4 crates of Clorox wipes.
Jesus.
And I was like, why do you need 4 crates? And people were giving him hell, and he's like, I sanitize frequently. I'm like, you're just an asshole. Like,
Yeah.
You didn't need 4 crates.
Yeah, like I bought like 2 what do you call them? The Clorox wipe things like 2 months ago before this all started, and I still have them.
Same. I have one that's like coconut scented, and I was like, oh, this smells like, it smells like pineapples and coconut, and I've been using that for a month and a half. So, and you know me, I'm like a crazy person. I'm like, all right, I'll wipe, and so yeah, there's no way you need that many.
Yeah, I even used one to wipe down like all the groceries and stuff we bought.
Sure.
I don't know where those stockers were, so I was just wiping them down anyway. Like screw it, and I still got like 1 billion left. So you don't need crates.
Stop hoarding. Don't make me have to send you that picture of that old lady at the grocery store with nothing on the shelves, and she's like, oh, I'm so sad. Don't make me send you that. It's going to make you feel terrible that you stole that stuff from that old lady. This old lady who's just like, hey, there's nothing here for me. Remember that face, that sad old lady face. You
Unless
did
you're
that.
Florida man, and you shove her down and steal her toilet paper and run away, and then go like, oh, but I knew the person I was giving it to.
My hip.
Look, she doesn't need it.
Yeah, she's on her way out anyway.
So yeah, just don't be a dick.
Yeah, don't be a dick. Those are the rules. Treat people well. Don't be a dick. Stop going to the grocery store and taking all the lunch meat. I watched a dude get 5 pounds of lunch meat.
Jesus.
But it wasn't like 1 pound of turkey and 1 pound of it was literally 5 pounds of the same.
Now,
he should have just got the slab of meat and taken it with him and cut it himself at that point.
To be fair, there is probably a Chicago meatball that will put that much on their sandwich. Like, you need at least a half pound if you're gonna make a real sandwich. No
Can
doubt.
I tell you what? No names. I have a friend who one time I saw him make a sandwich. I've never seen him make a sandwich before.
Right.
And he made a sandwich, and it was like I've never. It's like a man who had never eaten a sandwich before. You know how little kids, when you say, "Okay, make a sandwich," and they just put whatever they can on it. It was like that, except he's like 35.
This is definitely Alex or Davis. I just can't decide which one.
No, I'm not. No names. It was crazy. I've never seen him make a sandwich before, but it didn't even look like a sandwich. By the time it was done, it was like 84 slices of meat and cheese and then 2 little slivers of bread. And I was like, what the hell? It was crazy. Yeah, I'm like, if I put 4 pieces of meat on this sandwich, is that too much meat? And then I get the sandwich and I'm like, this is too bready. Oh well, I'll keep eating it.
Yeah, mine are very proportionate as well. I like my proportionate sandwiches.
If I go to one of those delis where like we stack up your pastrami, I'll literally open up the sandwich and eat the pastrami until it becomes a sandwich the size of which I can normally eat.
I feel that. That's what I do too.
I'm like, I'm not trying to unhinge my jaw to eat your thing. I'm going to proportionally make a sandwich that is perfect for my mouth, and I will eat around all the other things you brought me.
Where are you, baby? You got I unhinge my jaw every day.
I'm like a snake, see?
Honestly, probably could be. So yeah, where am I? Oh yeah, we're at the end of that's the story.
That's the show. That's right. What's our big news story of the day?
Big news story of the day. All right, let's see what we got here. Florida man's cow is faster than it looks and has evaded police. All right. Let's see.
I don't know where this is going.
I don't either. A cow described as faster than it looks is wanted by U.S. police after avoiding capture for over a month.
What?
What did it do?
I don't...
Florida cow.
Why do they keep calling it faster than it looks?
Like it doesn't look that fast.
It's just a cow.
You can tell that is one fast cow just from looking at it. Like the cow doesn't look like a Ferrari or something. It looks like a cow.
It's just a cow. I can't believe there's a giant sign that says "Wanted Unknown Cow."
The elusive female has been on the loose in South Florida since late January, and they've just issued a wanted poster for her.
Oh,
A poster
my God.
shared on Twitter by the Pembroke Pines Police Department reads, "Wanted, unknown cow." Description: female cow, brown with a white head, faster than it looks, talented fence jumper, enjoys pools.
What is this magical cow?
It's either whatever it is, enjoys swimming.
Yeah,
Jumping
right?
fences. Pending charges, moving violations,
Boo.
uttering false checks, and fleeing and eluding the police. The police department said the bovine fugitive is not considered dangerous, but has been spotted near Interstate 75 in southern Broward County and has been known to walk into the road. Wait, that's it? Where? Okay.
They made a wanted poster for a cow they couldn't catch that literally all it's doing is walking near roads. And they're like, this is dangerous. We need everyone there. All points bulletin. We need a wanted unknown cow.
Does the cow really belong to someone? Or is it, it's an independent
You'd
cow and
figure
it finally broke free?
A cow is big enough that someone would notice a missing cow. Right?
Yeah.
Like someone would notice their cow was missing. I think you might be onto something. I think this cow broke free. And maybe put like a stuffed cow in its place. A bunch of hay and like some leather jackets or something. And like, made a cow and the guy's like, oh, that's my cow Bessie out there looking great.
Right. And here's the thing. They say it jumps fences and enjoys pools. Like this cow jump some fences into someone's yard and go swimming and then make a dash for it.
Maybe this cow is during the day sneaks out and then at night goes back for the count.
Yeah.
Yep, Bessie's still here every day.
I think this cow is some sort of super cow.
We've already heard about super snakes. It's only a matter of time before it crosses over to cows.
I'm telling you right now, when the coronavirus hits the animals, it makes them into real super mutant animals.
I don't think that's true. Don't say that. Don't say that.
There'll be some guy that's like, I gotta inject my cat with Corona.
Don't do that.
And then he goes out and buys a case of Corona beer.
Maybe it will be a super cat then. The cat's like,
Yeah, I'm telling you, dude, this could get insane. Who knows what super animals next? Crocodiles? Ostriches?
We went from snake to cow, so I imagine we'll get less threatening as we go. So next, I feel like, I don't know.
Platypus.
Yeah, that's right. It's beak of justice, or bill. What do they have? Bills of justice.
Bill of justice.
And the tail. They're already mutants as is.
Mm-hmm. These things could get crazy.
Yeah, it's only a matter of time. They're already, if we give them the ability to mind warp you, it's over for us.
Yeah.
Well, not us, Australians. They're screwed. We're fine.
Oh, yeah. Australia's the last place you want to be when the animals go mutant.
Oh, yeah. You're all done then.
Yeah. They've already got mutant animals there practically.
Okay, Crendor. What is our big news story of the day?
Big news story of the day. All I saw.
Oh boy, yes.
All I saw was this. It says man returns.
Oh no! What?
Man returns to jungle with wife to crazy results.
What does that mean? Wait. All right, for those, I'm not gonna. The image is of a monkey breastfeeding on a woman.
Yes,
but it's not a monkey. It's a photoshopped ape.
Yeah,
breastfeeding on a photoshopped woman. Photoshopped to look like it's happening, but it is not happening.
Yes. And I have no idea. There's no article with it. It just has a YouTube video, and I don't want to click on it.
Why? Why? My favorite part is this is from News Channel Nebraska. News Channel Nebraska.
The highest quality news. Florida woman can't go to grandma's house for Sunday dinner because of social distancing, so she holds a parade.
What?
That's what I said.
That's what I said.
A Florida grandmother's family is used to going to her home for Sunday dinner every week. But wanting to comply with social distancing orders and avoid exposing her to COVID-19, they decided to show her they love her in a different way, a special parade. It takes commitment on both parties for them to be there every Sunday, but that's what they wanted. But health officials say Wolford's age are more vulnerable to the coronavirus, so with Sunday dinner out, her family planned the surprise parade. It was very important for us all to make sure she felt extra special because she makes us feel special, said their granddaughter Priscilla Carter. One by
Very
one,
cute.
honking horns and blaring music, loved ones had a parade for Wolford. They really shocked me, she said. They were yelling and screaming and driving and yelling to me. It was great, and I got to see them. They're showing us all, even with orders to social distance, family is never far away.
That was actually a very cute story.
Do you like how I read that like a news thing?
I know that you did.
I could even ramp it up a bit. They're showing us all, even with orders to social distance, family is never far away. Back to you guys. I'll read this like a news person, too. Let's
Okay.
cut it over to Crendor down on the streets. Crendor, what do you got down there? Thanks, Crendor, up in the studio. Sheriff, Florida mother shot burglar who entered home because dinosaurs were chasing him. A Florida man was shot by a mother of 3 after deputies say he broke into her Deltona, Florida home early Tuesday morning, March 31st, because he thought that dinosaurs were chasing him. Officials with the Volusia County Sheriff's Office said this happened at the home of 2600 block of Libby Court. According to deputies, Joseph Roberts, 32, tried breaking into the home around 5:45 a.m. by shattering a front window. Quote, the woman inside, a 42-year-old mother with several teenagers in the house, called 911 saying, I don't want to shoot him, but I'm going to have to. Get out of my window. Get out of my window.
That is such a Florida mom. I don't want to have to shoot him, but I'll do it.
Sheriff Mike Shitwood.
No way.
Mike.
No way.
Shitwood. You know he's been called Shitwood his whole life. Sheriff Mike Shitwood said during a press conference that the mother gave White several verbal warnings to leave. When he didn't, she opened fire. When deputies arrived, the sheriff said they found Roberts in the house, and he had quite an interesting story. He told us that the dinosaurs chasing him thought he'd get some bad weed, said Shitwood.
Yeah, weed, okay.
White was airlifted to Central Florida Regional Hospital in Sanford with injuries not believed to be life-threatening after he was shot in the forearm. He's lucky she's a bad shot, said Shitwood. Shitwood said they were seeking an enhanced penalty for committing a burglary during a national emergency. Guess the only explanation is watch where you're buying your weed during this time, said Shitwood. And that's the story. Back to
That's
you
the story.
in the booth.
And that's the story. Watch
That's the
where you're
story.
buying your weed. Yeah. Good moral. Good. You know what? Great moral for this week.
Yeah.
Watch where you're buying your weed.
Man. Then don't get chased by dinosaurs. That's the other
Yeah.
moral.
What if he was being chased by dinosaurs? What if he got the weed from the dinosaurs?
You know, they never suspect the dinosaurs.
They never suspected dinosaurs.
They're like, oh, they're
What-
extinct. Yeah, you think so? Where do you get the weed?
Yeah.
Moron.
Where'd he get the weed from?
It's man, just like, see, this is why the news does these things, right? Like, you get one story of like, oh man, look at that, a family helping out their grandma by throwing a parade, and then there's like, dinosaurs chasing me, shoot them. Like, you know,
Yep. That's the news. That's how it works.
that's the news.
All right, Crendor, what is our big news story of the day?
Big news story of the day. So, there's two things. The one we have from the other week is Pat Robertson, who's just like an old televangelist or some shit. I don't know. During
You know what? That's an
During
accurate. That's
appearance on the-
accurate. That's very accurate.
yeah, during an appearance on the 700 Club, Robertson blamed the coronavirus on oral sex. Quote, some of these youngins are doing all kinds of unnatural things with their sex organs, said Robertson. When people do that, they transfer all kinds of chemicals from lady private parts, and that's where I think the virus came from. We never had this kind of thing when I was coming up, but no one was committing oral sex back then. Robertson previously blamed 9/11 on witches and lesbians.
Oh my God, there is so much going on in there. There is so much going on in there, from start to finish.
This has to be fake, right? It has.
I have no clue. I have no clue. From start to finish,
Like-
there is so much to take in.
I don't know. First, have you ever committed the act of oral sex? Because no one was doing it back then, which I must presume is like 2,000. Not even. You can't even go back 2,000 years because the Romans and shit were probably just doing it in the streets.
I think all he's admitting to is that he has a very unsatisfied wife. Is what I'm seeing here. Everything about this quote. Some of these youngins. That's how it starts. Some of these youngins are doing all kinds of unnatural things with their sex organs. Some of these youngins. If you're immediately out of touch with everyone, if the first thing you say is some of these youngins. Some of these youngins are doing all kinds of unnatural things with their sex organs. I want to know what he thinks a natural thing is.
That is true. Because
when people do that, they transfer all kinds of chemicals.
The chemicals. Yes.
From lady
the
parts.
chemicals.
Chemicals from lady parts. This is how the Joker was made. No one realizes this, but that's what happened to the Joker. Batman used lady part chemicals, and it warped his face. From lady parts, and that's where I think the virus came from. We never had this kind of thing when I was coming up, but no one was committing oral sex back then. No one was committing oral. What a crazy phrase. No one was committing oral sex back then. And then it's like, Robertson previously blamed 9/11 on witches and lesbians, which again, hilarious.
I did find someone linking a thing about the Business Standard News that says it is a satirical site designed to parody the 24-hour news cycle. So I think it is fake.
Did we get goofed?
But here's the thing. Some of the fake stories are so outlandish and crazy that they're believable because this type of person believes these things anyway.
I mean, here's the thing. He did say the stuff about 9/11.
Oh, yeah.
So
that's the thing. It is something he probably would say. So that's what makes it so believable.
Fake or real, whoever wrote this article gave me one of my favorite laughs in a long time.
Yeah, it's fantastic. But
When I was coming up.
No
one's committing oral sex. Committing oral sex is my favorite phrase. It's like a robbery.
Here's the other one.
Okay.
Someone linked us a tweet. Jesus broke into a Pizza Hut in their hometown. So, Jesus Pizza Hut. Here it is. Let's see. This is North Carolina. The story's from like a few years ago, but it's still pretty good. Jesus Christ, a North Carolina man told 911, I just broke into a Pizza Hut. A North Carolina Pizza Hut restaurant was supposed to be closed at 4:30 a.m., but all it took was some divine intervention. A smashed window.
Damn these articles. How dare they?
Richard Lee Quintero, 46, broke into High Point, North Carolina restaurant, police said. Then he called 911 claiming he was Jesus. Yes, this is Jesus Christ, and I just broke into a Pizza Hut, the man tells dispatchers in the audio recording. I broke the window. Jesus is here now. He's back to Earth. Unfazed, the dispatcher asked the caller whether or not he works at the restaurant he's calling from. No, I just broke in and had a pizza, the caller responds during the 2-minute phone call, adding that he also had a Mountain Dew. I'm Jesus.
You know what? They should have asked him, like, are you selling tickets to heaven behind a KFC? Because I feel like this is the Jesus who would.
No, they should have just kept it going. He's just like, I've just broken into the Pizza Hut. And they'd be like, you broke into the Pizza Hut? And he'd be like, yeah, I broke into the
That's
Pizza Hut.
how they got him to keep talking. You're right.
Yeah. then the dispatcher asks what he looks like. I look like Jesus. What else am I supposed to look like? The caller responds. Asked by the dispatcher why he broke in, the man gives the obvious answer. Because I'm Jesus. I can do what I want. He tells the dispatcher,
Jesus.
explaining he broke it. We're tired of Judases on this earth. We're going to clean this earth up. Also, here he is.
Wait, but why? Wait, hold on. But why would he do this? Oh, boy. Oh, boy. That guy doesn't even look like Jesus. Hold on.
He does not.
He doesn't even look like Jesus.
No. What are you saying?
I don't know. I feel like he's going about this whole getting rid of Judas's thing wrong because the first thing he did was make a pizza and drink a Mountain Dew. That seems counterproductive.
It does seem kind of counterproductive. Quintero was arrested at 4:45 a.m. on Wednesday on charges of felony breaking and entering, felony larceny, according to a police report. He was booked at the High Point jail where he was held on a $1,000 bond. Police told the High Point Enterprise that Quintero cooperated with police when they arrived at the restaurant to arrest him. Quintero told the dispatcher he has schizophrenia. He also said he moved to North Carolina from Indiana, and then in North Carolina, everybody's been treating me mean.
Oh,
Well, that's kind of sad.
I feel so bad for him. Oh, man. He wasn't up to.
Man,
he wasn't
you know
doing
it's
anything
bad when you move from Indiana and they're treating you mean.
What a sad ending. I moved from Indiana and everyone's treating me bad. Man, I feel that. That sucks. All he wanted to do was eat pizza.
That's true. All you want to do is eat pizza.
Like, there are violent people out there. All he did was eat pizza and drink a Mountain Dew.
Here's the problem. They didn't follow up. They could have been like, everyone's treating you mean. And then he could you'd get so many more stories.
Yeah, he could have told him who was treating him mean. We would have found out, and we could have taken him out.
Yeah.
Like,
really, these are the tactics news reporters need to start employing.
We should run our own news channel.
We should. Cox and Cren News.
All the news you can Cren news. Yeah, in every interview, it's just like,
nonstop.
So there I was, minding my own business, when out of the blue came a comet that struck that poor man's head.
A comet struck that poor man's head.
That's right. It went right through, and inside was an alien. His name was Philip, and I said, Philip, what are you doing here? And the alien looked at me and said, I've come for your women.
He came for your women?
That's what I said. And it turns out he's actually a young Filipino man.
A young Filipino man?
Yes, it was weird. It turns out I was on cocaine at the time.
You were on cocaine?
That's right. I got it from my friend, Little Phil. He runs the bistro down the street. They serve a very nice quiche.
Oh, they serve a very nice quiche.
One of the best in the city. Tastes delicious. It has little tomatoes in it, and it has other sort of veggies. I find it divine. But he also sells crack cocaine out the back.
He sells crack cocaine out the back?
That's not all he sells out the back.
What else does he sell?
All sorts of things come out the back. It's crazy. Yeah, and we every interview would go on for 8 hours.
Yeah. Then we just make a highlight reel. And then we upload the full thing to Netflix in our new special. Crazy people say the darnest things.
Yeah, we find out where all the cool spots were because we'd eventually hear all the information.
Yeah. And that's why we bring you the best information from the source.
All the Cren news you can Cren use. Yeah. And what is our big news story of the day?
Florida man arrested after camping at Disney's Discovery Island.
Wait,
Florida man.
What?
Yeah. A Florida man was arrested after authorities said he tried to quarantine on a shuttered island within Walt Disney World, thinking it was a, quote, tropical paradise. Richard McGuire, 42, was found...
Whoa. Time out.
Yeah.
So he snuck onto Disney property. Wait, hold on. Did he know? All right, I'm going to shut up. I need to know the story. I'll be quiet.
Richard McGuire, 42, was found on Disney's Discovery Island on Thursday, police said. He told investigators he'd been there since Monday or Tuesday and had planned to stay there for at least a week. A security guard noticed McGuire using a company boat Thursday and called authorities. Despite numerous no trespassing signs and multiple lock gates, McGuire told investigators he did not realize the area was off limits. Richards stated that he was unaware of that and that it looked like a tropical paradise, according to the arrest report. He was arrested and charged with trespassing.
Wait, what? How? How did he get on the property?
I don't know. Discovery Island was previously called Treasure Island and was the site of a zoological attraction that closed in '99.
Right, but it's in the Orlando property, right?
Yeah, like it's on the property.
He didn't like crash land there. He didn't like sail up the coast and find it. How did he get on there? And he's been living there this entire time?
I guess so. Like, it's actually pretty impressive when you think about it.
Yes, very. And no one is even addressing it in this article. This man is Survivor Man. He just got up in there. What?
Like, it's, there's no detailed questions either. It's just, that happened. Like, okay, why did he choose to go there? Did he just wander across it and be like, gotta get in there, this is a deserted island? And then maybe he didn't even realize it was Disneyland.
That's what I'm saying. But, okay, I'm going to find a map. I'm going to find Disney World map.
All right.
Because, right, it's in Orlando, yes?
Yes. It's the Orlando one.
Oh, wow. That's crazy.
What?
It's quite possible he could have.
What?
So, in Disneyland, there's Disneyland proper, right? Which is, it has, the Magic Kingdom, all that stuff.
Yeah.
And then there's the Disneyland that's like the Epcot Center Disneyland. And then there's all of the resorts around it, right? There's the Polynesian Village. That's where I almost decapitated my cousin.
What?
There. When I was like 11, there you can see it on the map if you go to Disney World. You can see on the map the Seven Seas Lagoon. For some damn reason, back in the mid 90s, almost late 90s, like 97 maybe, they had bumper boats there. And kids could ride bumper boats around the Seven Seas Lagoon. And my cousin and I were, bumpering on the bumper boats, which you're supposed to do. And so we decided it would be hilarious if we went to opposite sides of the lagoon and then at full speed went at each other. And so I guess a wave or something happened where I flew up above her boat. And for a split second, everyone on shore thought I killed my cousin. We were fine, but I guess it looked like, she ducked, and it looked like I just cut her head off. And everyone, lost their mind. But I guess it didn't happen. So, although, there's, an alternate dimension where I'm a killer.
Oh,
that
no
definitely
doubt.
happened. But anyway, if you go out from the Seven Seas Lagoon out into, the literal Bay Lake, there's an island out there called Discovery Island. It's in the middle of a lake.
Oh, yeah, I did see that.
What's fascinating is, I guess, in theory, you could discover it.
Yeah, I guess technically. It is kind of like it is like a random island out in the middle of the water.
Yes. I guess you could discover it.
Huh. Well, I managed to find another article that I think has a bit more detail.
Okay.
All right, so this one says Richard McGuire, 42, was caught camping out on Walt Disney World's Discovery Island despite the park being closed. On April 30th, the Alabama man was arrested on what he reportedly called a tropical paradise, which has been closed since '99. He stated that he made entry to the island to go camping on Monday or Tuesday. It revealed that Richard had planned on staying on the island for approximately 1 week. Deputies were called to the park after McGuire was spotted by security.
I was about to say, there had to be security on that island. It is still in the middle of Disney property. It isn't it's in the north. Oh, actually, northwest is the Magic Kingdom, and then directly south is Epcot Center.
Yeah. When deputies arrived, they reportedly sought the Disney intruder on foot, helicopter, and boat. He literally had everybody looking for him. According to a police report, a loudspeaker was used to get his attention. McGuire allegedly claimed he was sleeping inside of the island's building when police were calling out to him. He didn't know he was not permitted on the property, which had previously been named Treasure Island. How McGuire made his way onto the property and across Bay Lake to get on the 11.5-acre island remains unknown. What? How did they see him now, but they didn't see him before? Don't they have, like, video?
Great question. Fantastic question.
Like, oh, we see him now, but how did he get here? Like, what was he, invisible this whole time up until he got there? Let's see. McGuire's trespassing prompted the park to ban him from all Disney properties. He's also charged misdemeanor for trespassing. Despite coronavirus prompt, Walt Disney World is shut down mid-March. Park potentially opens June. Guidelines for regional tests. Blah, 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 blah. Nothing else about him. So,
blah, 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 blah.
yeah. Mm-hmm. So, I guess he just wanted to go camping there, and he just got there somehow, some way. And
that's the most amazing part.
There's his picture.
Yo, that guy looks like he could.
He does.
Let me tell you something. If he cleaned up, he would look like one of those Survivor Men dudes.
He would.
If he didn't look like he was a crazy person, he could be a Survivor Man.
He's got like that kind of like ooh.
Yes. Yes.
Yeah.
Ooh. Yeah, he does have a little pout going on. He's like, you arrested me. Ooh.
Yeah.
Oh, no, I got arrested. Ooh.
Man. Well, I didn't expect that, but here we are.
All right. Well, I guess that's our big news story. I can't believe I'm so impressed with that guy. It's illegal. Don't do that, but I'm impressed.
Yeah. Call our big
anyway.
Impressed.
All right. Crendor, what's our big news story of the day?
The ghost of a masturbating ape haunts the hallways of a grand country estate.
This is it. This is definitely our news story of the week.
Now,
this is. I'm sorry.
This story is about 3 years old.
You know what? We just found it. That's all that matters.
Yeah, it's new to us. The ghost of Randy Monkey haunts the halls of a grand English country estate.
No way is this thing called Randy Monkey.
Randy Monkey, you know.
Do you think that's a family name, or do you think he was given that name?
No, I'd say he's been given that name. Without a doubt. Titillated tourists can often hear the saucy specter laughing while masturbating in Athelhampton Hall in Dorset near Dorchester.
What? All right, first off, England, why are all your ghosts always horny? What is every time we do a story about an English ghost, it's either like trying to marry a woman, or it's like trying to bang people, or it's like masturbating in a wall. Every time. England, what is happening over there?
Some frustrated people there. Dead people specifically.
It's all that repression in life, and they're like, now that I'm dead, I'm letting loose.
Then the spooky venue even has soul-searching couples clamoring to have their weddings held there in hope of having the pervy primate appear in the background of their pictures.
What? Wait. All right, so there's a lot to unpack here. First off, people want to go stay there because they hope the ape named Randy Monkey the ape, will jerk off and laugh at them while he does it.
Yeah,
and then they want to have their weddings there so that in the background of their wedding photos, a masturbating ape can be seen so that they can have that forever.
Yeah, I don't...
A reminder of the time that as they shared their vows before their friends and family, an ape jerked off to it.
I think that the thoughts ever crossed my mind of being with Toaster Woman and be like, hey, you know what we need? When we have our wedding, I really want to have it with Randy Monkey and hope that he just jerks off in the background. I think that's the most romantic thing I can think of.
You know, I'd really love it if as we shared our first kiss as husband and wife, and masturbating ape was in the background, just laughing at us like, like just cracking up at our hilarious wedding.
There's got to be more to this. The lovable ape's afterlife antics have helped the Hall to be named as one of the most haunted houses in England after being listed on We Buy Any Homes list of the 9 most ghostly properties. The 15th century house was originally built by the Martin family, whose crest featured an excited monkey sitting on a tree stump. The estate's motto was, "He who looks at Martin's ape will look at him."
This is the craziest. So in the 1500s, or maybe, what were you saying, 15th century? Is that what it was? So 1400s.
Right.
Somewhere, someone was like, "My lord, what should we have on our crest? Should we have a rooster or a dragon or perhaps some sort of lion, my lord?" And he's like, "No, a masturbating monkey on a stump." "My lord, are you sure?" "Yes, I want that monkey masturbating." "And the monkey or an ape, my lord?" "An ape seems stronger, like a stronger grip, so include an ape instead." "Yes, my lord." I can't even. So then they. All right, yeah. So is there even an ape, or is it just because the story? I don't understand.
Let's see. And ever
Was
since
there ever an ape on the premises?
I don't know. It just says does his thing. And ever since the horny ghost of Martin's monkey has haunted the sprawling country pile, making it a go-to destination. Like, was it just like they declared that was their motto, and then the ghost monkey was like, "Well, I gotta go here."
I guess. Or is it like a dude who's just really hairy, which makes it way creepier?
Oh yeah, I don't know.
Just like a hairy guy who's just like, right? Like that
sounds
doesn't
like
seem
something
good.
they would do in the 15th century.
Right?
Yeah,
Like, "Yes, my lord.
we call
Bring
him
the
a
hairy
monkey
one."
because it's Geraldo, the
Bring,
town squire.
bring me the hairy one.
One tourist, dad of 3, John Morrison, 41.
You
from
brought your
Derby.
kids to the masturbating ape? Oh, hell no,
He
man.
took his entire family to the estate, spoke excitedly about the spanking monkey ghost. He said, "We heard that Martin the monkey who haunts the house loves to scratch his privates while swinging around. We didn't see him, which is a shame because it would have been a real sight. Apparently he's not terrifying, quite friendly is what we heard." According to the local legend, the unconventional...
Oh, no one has ever seen this. He's actually quite friendly. The masturbating monkey is actually quite... Of course he is. That monkey is looking at you, jerking it. When you look at him, he looks right back. That's what the motto means. He has no shame. This monkey has no shame.
According to local legend, the unconventional Martin family did have a pet ape which was free to wander the halls.
Okay, there we go.
There it is. And when one of the Martin daughters had an unhappy love affair and decided to kill herself, the compassionate monkey began following her around. When she climbed a set of hidden stairs to a secret room, the ape trailed behind and watched as she took her own life with the door bolted. By the time the family's search of the house grounds eventually located the room, the ape had starved to death next to her body. Now, its ghost haunts the hall, often scratching at the paneling of the secret room and staircase in an eternal frantic attempt to escape, but the monkey is not alone. The house is reputed to have 6 other ghosts, all human.
Whoa, what?
Shit, dude.
All right, can I be real with you? I didn't think the story was going to get depressing. I thought you were about to tell me this girl had a love affair with the monkey. I thought you were about to tell me this girl was spurned by this guy, and so she and this ape went up to that private room and got it on. That's what I thought you were going to say. I did not expect her to kill herself. That's not the way I thought this was going to go. I was like, all right, well, this is getting weird. But it got sad. It didn't get weird. It got sad. And I blame you.
Well, that's fine. Athelhampton has long been known as a haunted spot and featured on TV's Most Haunted in 2002. There's been a structure on the site since Saxon times. Andrea Cook, who has lived at the house with her family for more than 20 years, said she has witnessed all sorts of odd and inexplicable things. But while many people have a rational explanation, she said, there are always some which do not. The most recent was a dark hooded figure who rushed past one of our cleaners. On the first sighting, she assumed she had imagined it, but 10 minutes later it came towards her again, up the old servant's staircase, and hurried past her into a bathroom. She was terribly excited about it, having never witnessed such a thing. What this was makes no sense at all. It is a figure our youngest son has seen a couple occasions, but the cleaner was unaware of this at the time. Despite all this, it's an amazing place to live. It is a beautiful home. We are happy here, and generally it has a lovely atmosphere in spite of the stories. But on the odd occasion when something does occur, and I must stress, it is only occasionally, it reminds you that there are some things which are beyond our understanding. A spokesperson from We Buy Any Home said, "Whether you believe in ghosts or not, it's undeniable that some places, for whatever reason, give us the creeps. Also, we buy your homes." I had that last part.
How very British of you.
Whether it be the old-fashioned decor, the eerie silence that hangs over the property, or the footsteps on the landing in the dead of the night, some properties give that feeling that they may be occupied by something or something else. Andrea said that when her sons were younger, their friends refused to sleep over at Athelhampton Hall because of doors being agitated, figures at the end of your bed, figures stood in doorways, the sound of rapid footsteps backwards and forwards in your bedroom.
Okay, all right. I think if I ever had to stay anywhere to do a ghost hunting thing, I would do it there. Not because I expect to see a ghost, because if I did, I'd want it to be a masturbating monkey.
Where did they even say that he was, like, whacking it?
Well, it was the headline, but really what it is it's just the thing monkeys always do, where they just jingle their balls a little bit. You know, they just scratch a little, and they're like, yeah, whatever.
Man, there's some people that do that, too.
Yeah, I mean, they say we're related.
Well, in the comments, Bobby Bobberson said, "Except that ghosts don't exist."
Way to ruin it with facts, Bobby.
And then Parrot Face said, "Haha."
Parrot Face with those good comebacks. Haha.
Nice Parrot Face.
Yep. Okay. Crendor, what is our big news story of the day? By the way, before we get there, I've been looking through Yakutsk more just because I'm fascinated by it. If you look it up, just be aware there's a National Geographic issue called Yakutsk, Siberia, How to Celebrate Summer in the World's Coldest City. It looks like Midsommar. It's crazy looking. It looks like they definitely are killing people there. Everyone's dressed up in white. Everyone, they're like dancing around maypoles and stuff, and there's a big, what looks like people standing up against like a sacrificial pole. I don't know what's going on. Obviously, it's wild.
Huh.
But also, like, shout out to Yakutsk, because they have, like, some beautiful people there. Anyway, hi. Anyway, moving on.
Beautiful, beautiful people.
That's so beautiful.
Oh, man, this one got tweeted to us.
Okay, here we go.
Men hired for sexual fantasy break into wrong house.
All right, first off, timeout. Men hired for sexual fantasy?
Yes.
All right, let me just before you read this story, let me just say this could be one of those stories that people on the internet think is hilarious, and then we read it and we're like, "Well, this is not funny at all." So be prepared.
Oh boy,
be prepared. This could turn out bad. This could.
All right. Okay.
This could be one of those.
Yeah, this might be one of the. Geez. All right. In a sex fantasy gone wrong, 2 men with machetes entered wrong house in New South Wales, Australia, before quickly realizing their error. Wait, what kind of fantasy takes machetes?
That's what I'm saying, dude. That's what I'm saying. This seems like a pretty dark fantasy. This seems the kind of fantasy you keep between loved ones and not on a podcast. I'm a little worried we're going down a dark rabbit hole here.
One of them has now been acquitted of entering a home armed with a weapon in July of 2019. They had been hired to carry out a client's fantasy of being tied up in his underwear and stroked with a broom.
Never mind. We're good.
All right.
You know what? Some fantasies are worth putting on a podcast.
The judge concluded the facts of this case are unusual. You know, what is... I'm not even going to ask it.
Wait a minute. He hired 2 dudes to do this, to break into his house, brandishing weapons, tie him up, and then stroke him with the broom? That was his plan?
I guess so. The role play was arranged over Facebook by a man near Griffith, New South Wales, who provided his address to the hired pair. Quote, he was willing to pay a Aussie $5,000 if it was really good, the judge said.
What is the really good part? Like, the breaking and entering? He's like, that was realistic. I was definitely scared for my life. Or the broom stroking, in which case, like, how do you know what a good broom stroke is? Is there a definition? Is there like a hierarchy of broom strokage?
I have no idea, but I'm glad that I don't have these fantasies.
Maybe I'm the problem, Crendor, because the entire time you're reading the beginning of this story, I was really worried. I was like, uh-oh, I don't like where this is going. And then I was way off. I'm pleasantly surprised it was broom massage.
However, the client moved to another address, 50 kilometers, 30 miles away, without updating the 2 men. They entered a home on the street of the original address. When the resident noticed a light on in his kitchen at 6:15, he assumed it was a friend who came by daily to make morning coffee. When the men called out the name of their client, the resident turned on the light and removed a sleep apnea mask he was wearing. It was then when he saw them standing above his bed with machetes, which they appeared to have brought as props for the role play. When they realized their error, one of the pair said, quote, "Sorry, mate," and shook the resident's hand.
That's the most Australian thing I've ever heard.
Sorry, mate.
Sorry, mate. They broke into his house. They're like, sorry, mate. And they just like left.
The 2 men then drove to the correct address, where the client noticed one man had a great big knife in his trousers and asked him to leave the weapons in their car. The client then cooked bacon, eggs, and noodles, and a short time later, the police arrived at the property, found the machetes in the car, and arrested the hired pair. The judge ruled the evidence did not suggest the men's actions were intentional. They, quote, carried machetes either as a prop or something to use in that fantasy, he said. The fantasy was unscripted, and there was a discretion as to how it would be carried out. A lawyer for Terrence Leroy, one of the accused, said, is a commercial agreement to tie up and stroke a semi-naked man in his underpants with a broom. Entry was not with intent to intimidate.
Can you just go back and read that statement again, please?
All right. Quote, it was a commercial agreement to tie up and stroke a semi-naked man in his underpants with a broom. Entry was not with intent to intimidate.
That is truly one of the craziest things I've ever heard.
That is... How to say a broom?
That's what I'm saying. I don't get it. And trust me, I understand many sexual fantasies. This is one I do not get.
Yeah, I don't get it either. I don't understand. Maybe somebody knows something we don't in the comments or something.
You're asking for someone to inform us more about this? I don't think there's anything else to inform.
That was just one of those things where at first you read it and you're like, oh shit, and then you're like, okay, and then you're like, wait, and then you're like, oh wow, this is insane. It was like a roller coaster of emotions.
It definitely was that. I was all over the place with that story, but I'm glad it worked out in the end.
Man, yeah, it worked out in the end. You know, got the happy ending, I guess.
Wah, 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 wah.
Man.
Let's go to our big news story of the day.
Yeah, I didn't even have to drag it out that time. You did it for me.
I know, I was trying.
So we already got a big news story because it's been linked to us a bunch.
Uh-oh.
And I linked it to you.
Okay. I think I forgot already what this is, but I'm ready for it.
All right, get ready. The tweet says, Spanish porn star Nacho Vidal, who likes to advertise his aromatic candle shaped like male genitalia on Twitter, that's halfway, has been arrested on manslaughter charges following a man's death during a mystic ritual in which he inhaled psychedelic toad venom. The top replies someone being like, they've come a long way since elementary school Mad Libs. It's the Mad Libs thing.
Wait, whoa.
All right.
I'm so okay.
So this really happened.
They did this guy so wrong because the first half of that is totally unnecessary.
I know.
They're like Spanish porn star Nacho Vidal, which, by the way, Spanish porn star Nacho Vidal is a great name. That's a solid Spanish porn star name.
It is.
And then
It's Nacho Vidal.
who then has penis sculptures they sell online.
Yeah.
Unnecessary. Totally. The first two bits of this, totally unnecessary. And then was involved in a ritual with like toad venom or some shit.
Yes.
Oh, God. All right,
right.
read this. This is amazing.
A porn star has been arrested on manslaughter charges following a man's death during a mystic ritual in which he inhaled psychedelic toad venom, Spanish police said Wednesday.
Again, we don't need to know that he's a porn star.
I mean,
I doubt that Nacho Vidal is even his real name.
at least unlike some of the other things we've read, we get the full details here.
They really are going in. I appreciate that.
Nacho Vidal was detained last week in the southeastern Valencia region in connection with the death of a man in July 2019. Media identified the victim as fashion photographer Jose Luis Abad.
Time out.
Yeah.
They're going to say that he's a fashion photographer when we all know that dude was shooting porn.
Oh, yeah. No doubt.
There's no way you hang out with famous porn star Nacho Vidal as a fashion photographer. Bullshit. That guy, see, they did him fine. Just because he died, they were like, fashion photography. Yep, that's it.
Yeah. No, that's got to be... Oh, my God. I just went to a different article and saw this guy's face.
Who is that?
I think that's Nacho.
All right. I don't know what's going on in Spanish porn films, but I never want to see that face in Spanish porn. That is the face of a man who, like, it's not an unattractive face. It's a scary face.
Oh, yeah. That's a scary face.
Those are eyes that are terrifying.
Dude, you can always tell the crazy people by their eyes.
Oh, my God.
I'm
That
telling
guy's
you.
eyes are out of control.
It's like you can see they're out of control or they're just like, they're in their own world.
If there's anyone I ever thought would kill someone with toad venom, it is this guy.
Oh, yeah. If you had to, like, line up his pictures with other people, he'd be like, nope, that's the toad venom one. That's it.
100%. This dude looks like... At first I thought you were saying this was the guy who died. And I was like, I guess I can see him being a photographer. But you're telling me this is the porn star?
Yeah.
I have problems with this. He must have a giant penis. For people to be focusing on anything else besides his crazy eyes must be huge.
It's got to be. So, let's see. Where did I leave off? Police operation began following the victim's death during a celebration of a mystic ritual based on the inhalation of venom of the Bufo alvarius toad. Bufo
Yeah. The Bufo.
alvarius.
Are you looking up this toad?
Yes. Hey, it's a toad. Colorado
What does it
river
look like?
toad.
Is it a little
Dude.
tiny baby toad with like is it like red and black?
No, he's just like normal. He's like grayish green.
Oh,
This
all
one's
right.
like
I
a
thought it'd be
darker green.
I thought it'd be cool looking at least. He's just a normal ass toad.
Thing is, like, these pictures make the toad look really big, but toads are like the size of your hand or smaller.
Well, it depends. There could be like a big toad.
There probably are
You know?
some big toads, some honker toads.
Big toad.
Honker toads. Here's two toads just chilling.
Yeah, I mean,
All right, I gotta
it's not a
stop,
frog. Toads can be big. Frogs are usually tiny.
Yeah, that's true. All right. Toads. In Oh wait, the toad, a rare species which is native to the Sonoran Desert, stretching from northern Mexico into California and Arizona, secretes venom containing a very powerful natural psychedelic substance known as 5-MeO-DMT. Huh.
Can I just tell you? I just discovered that apparently there's a reason why this happened then. So, in another article, the hottest new psychedelic drug among trendy New Yorkers is illegal toad venom, September 28th, 2019. They apparently leave users immobile and unaware and can cause extreme emotional reactions, euphoria, and vomiting, according to drug researchers.
Huh.
But when people who are on the drug describe it, they describe it as a total fusion with God.
Well,
all
right.
sure, all right.
Its effects have been compared to ayahuasca, a powerful
Good, you nailed it.
a powerful hallucinogenic concoction from the Amazon consumed as part of a shaman ritual.
Yeah.
Following an 11-month inquiry, police arrested Vidal, one of his relatives, and an employee of suspicion of manslaughter and crimes against public health. Investigators say they discovered rituals were being carried regularly on grounds they offered medical benefits.
This is crazy that there's another article that I found that talks about how there's like rich socialites in New York doing this drug and how it costs between $200 and $500 a person, and they hire a shaman to come and like guide them through it. And they say that in this article, one example is that this person attended a gathering at a mansion in the Hamptons where they all smoked this drug, this venom that a shaman brought them. 21 people, all in white robes, which sounds crazy. There was drum beating in the background, and a leader read a prayer about love and held the pipe to each guest's lips. Some people moaned, cried, or convulsed on their backs, while others started dancing, singing, or chanting. Once the venom called Bufo alvarius,
That's the one.
once it wears off, you experience an afterglow that can make you make major life changes. I immediately broke up with my long-term boyfriend. I was just so sure everything I was deciding was right. Another person here says, if you get dosed too high, it's called a whiteout, a disassociative state from your mind and body. Anxiety can persist for days. We've heard people going into the emergency room. So this sounds like it's something you shouldn't do.
Oh, that would definitely be me. I'd be going in for anxiety. Without a doubt.
But this guy who wrote the article says, even though there's a downside, my life has never been the same since. I don't know if that's a good statement. My life was never, like, it wasn't like I'm doing so much better, all these things. It's literally just like, my life has never been the same since.
Huh. Here we are. But in reality, this apparently harmful ancestral ritual posed a serious health risk, luring people who are easily influenced, vulnerable, or who are seeking help for illnesses or addictions using alternate methods. Local press said the ceremony took place in the country residence of Vidal, a media-savvy porn star in his mid-40s whose Twitter feed is full of ads for his 25-centimeter aromatic candles of the male genitalia, available in black, white, or cerise.
Okay. Yeah. Or cerise.
Cerise.
Yeah.
Well, looking at, so I guess he's got like a 10-inch wang.
Yeah,
I'd put 25 centimeters in the thing. Because I couldn't figure it out with my brain.
It makes sense now. Now everything checks out.
Yep.
But it's also crazy.
Yeah. No, it's
Nacho Vidal.
It's Nacho Vidal.
Yep.
What do you know?
What do you know?
Porn star by day, shamanistic drug rituals by night.
Actually, none of that seems surprising to me for a porn star.
Oh,
That seems to check out.
How else do I stay hard for 5 hours? Viagra wears off.
Thanks to this toad venom. Actually,
stay
his
hard
name's not Jim Adult.
non-stop.
He can't sound like that. He has to sound like, thanks to this toad venom, I can stay hard all day. Don't worry. It is I, Nacho Vidal.
It
Right?
only
You know he sounds
becomes
like that.
painful after hour 7.
Do not see a doctor. They won't be able to save you.
See a shaman.
All right. What is our big news story of the day?
Big news story of the day is a flashback to an old story we covered that people have been sending us from... God, I don't know when we covered this. There was a story we covered a while ago about a hidden treasure in the Rocky Mountains. You remember that?
No, not at all.
All
Nope.
right. Well,
I don't.
remember it, but I don't remember how many years ago it was. So, treasure chest containing $1 million worth of gold and jewels found after decade-long hunt in the Rocky Mountains.
Are you sure
my
we
God,
covered
wait,
this?
Is this it? Yes. Is this it? Hold on. I'm about to click on Hidden Treasure, episode 51, 2014, which originally aired 2013. But is uploaded to YouTube 2014. So actually, yeah, this was 7 years ago. That's probably why
Oh
you
my
don't remember.
God. No wonder I don't remember.
Wow.
7 years ago. Holy crap.
So for 7, in fact, you go to the comments, someone's like, wow, you need Polaris to sign your guys' podcast.
It was so long ago. Polaris existed and ceased to exist in that time period.
Hey, we outlasted Polaris.
Yeah. We're doing pretty good for ourselves.
Yeah. Someone also said, anyone else notice when they do the helicopter sounds? It sounds like fapping.
It's me just slapping my chest like this.
Yep.
You know how I learned that? I learned it from watching an old episode, I think, of either The Commish or The Shield. It was the same actor, but he was like trying to get like a drug dealer out of a house, and he put a speaker, like a microphone thing up to his chest, and he went like, and the guy was like, "Oh, there's a helicopter outside." I don't know that it works, but what am I gonna do? Go? No. So sure, it sounds like Crendor is jerking it while talking about the weather. Wait, the traffic. That's fine.
Man, it's all coming together.
The dude likes traffic.
This is besides the point. There's a comment on this video. Someone said, anyone who wants to seek this treasures thing, here's an idea. Research this guy's background and see if he got any advanced degrees or he's just really clever. I have a feeling that the clues given in the poem are not the actual clues and there's some kind of code hidden within the words that are the actual clues. Kind of reminds me of Sword Quest from the old Atari days. Good luck, everyone.
Oh shit! What was his poem?
I don't know, but maybe it'll say it in the story.
Maybe. All right, let's find out.
So, a treasure chest worth $1 million has finally been found in the Rocky Mountains. The elusive prize was hidden by eccentric art dealer Forrest Fenn in 2010, drawing in thousands of cash-hungry treasure hunters. At least 5 men have lost their lives on the hunt through the Rockies.
My God! Wait,
Holy
question.
shit.
Does that mean is this guy at fault for that?
I don't know.
I mean, he literally incited 5 dudes to go out into the wilderness and die.
Oh my God. Okay. Imagine if after that episode we would have given up everything to become treasure hunters.
We would have died in the woods. You know that, right?
It's a possibility. We would have found $1 million in stuff, and we'd both be like almost millionaires because we'd.
I can tell you right now, whatever that poem said, we didn't understand it.
Oh yeah, no.
But also, can you imagine? There had to have been people out in those woods trying to kill people, right?
Oh yeah, no doubt.
Like there are people out there who are waiting for someone to find the treasure, and they're like, "Then I'll kill him." You know that happens.
I've seen enough treasure hunting movies to know that's a thing.
Absolutely, that was Sean Bean's whole deal in National Treasure.
Yeah. However, the chest, which is filled with rare coins, nuggets of gold, antique jewelry, and much more, has now been found. Here it is. The thrill of the chase. Forest Fen's hidden treasure is somewhere to be found within the highlighted region of the Rocky Mountains. And then here's the big thing. Hold on.
You sending me this?
And then this is the poem.
Whoa! Wow, this is fascinating. Okay.
It says, as I have gone alone in there, and with my treasure bold, I can keep my secret where and hint of riches new and old. Begin it where warm waters halt, and take it in the canyon down, not far, but too far to walk, put in below the Bome of Brown? From there it is no place for the meek, the end is ever drawing nigh. There'll be no paddle up your creek, first heavy loads and water high. Or, wait, what's that? Just heavy loads and water high. I got you. This is like reading Tolkien. If you've been wise and found the blaze.
Hold on. If it's like reading Tolkien, you have to read it like you're reading an ancient script, an ancient manuscript.
If you've been wise and found the blaze, look quickly down your quest to cease. But tarry scant with marvel gaze, just take the chest and go in peace. So why is it that I must go and leave my trove for all to seek? The answers I already know. I've done it tired and now I'm weak. So bear me all and listen good. Your effort will be worth the cold. If you are brave and in the wood, I give you title to the gold.
So, fascinating. So it basically, the map is from Montana through Wyoming, through Colorado, into a little bit of New Mexico, is where he says it's in that area.
Yeah.
Which is huge. It's a huge area. And if there's anything I've learned from watching National Treasure 10 times, it's that from moment one, like as I have gone alone in there and with my treasures bold, that whole thing, that's a clue.
Yeah.
That whole thing, that's a clue. It's probably
That's
like,
a clue.
you know, something in there like I can keep my secrets where and hint of riches new and old. Right? That whole I can keep my secrets where, I bet that's a thing. People were like, oh, well, he keeps his secrets, you know, where there's a hint of riches new and old. But he's like, no, dude. The where is probably like, where Canyon? Right? You know, some weird shit like that.
Yeah. Fenn, that's a picture of my link, who announced the treasure hunt in his 2010 memoir, said a man from back east had found the chest a few days ago. The 89-year-old has opted not to reveal the exact location where the treasure was found, though he released a statement on his website saying it had not moved from the spot where it was hidden 10 years ago. It was under a canopy of stars in the lush, forested vegetation of the Rocky Mountains and had not moved from that spot where I hid it more than 10 years ago. I do not know the person who found it, but the poem in my book led him to the precise spot. When asked how he felt about the fact the treasure has now been tracked down, he said, I don't know. I feel halfway kind of glad, halfway kind of sad because the chase is over. I congratulate the thousands of people who participated in the search and hope they will continue to be drawn by the promise of other discoveries. Fenn announced the treasure hunt in the form of a 24-line poem titled The Thrill of the Chase, which was published in his 2010 book. However, he first came up with the idea after being given a 20% chance to live following a cancer diagnosis in 1988. The poem included hints such as warm waters halt, the blaze, canyon down, which have all led treasure seekers to different parts of the mountains across Colorado, New Mexico, Montana, and Wyoming. Thousands have headed towards the Rockies in a bid to find the treasure, with many spending life savings and even giving up their jobs at the promise of becoming millionaires if they find the prize. Sadly, at least 5 people lost their lives while attempting to locate the chest, the most recent
Sadly.
53-year-old Michael Sexton, who died in March of this year. In 2016.
Oh my God.
Can you imagine, like, if you'd have just waited a couple more months, you'd be like, I can't get it now.
I'm not even going to lie. I firmly believe that that dude was killed by the guy who has the treasure now.
Oh my God, he probably was.
Totally believe that. I completely believe that. You're telling me a dude died right before the treasure was found? Dude was killed.
Oh,
100%.
yeah, and then he just waited it out, like, I won't tell anyone I found it. And then a couple months later, like, I found it. And then it, spaced it out a little bit.
Yeah, firmly believe that.
Shit.
He was like from back east. You know his name was like Don Jimmy the Snooch.
Tony Don Jimmy the Snooch.
Why are we so bad at these?
The third.
Tony Don Jimmy the Snooch the Third. Are you telling me my little boy Tony Don Jimmy the Snooch the Third found $1 million treasure? That is a terrible name. We're gonna get a letter from some guy.
Tony
Don Jimmy the Snooch the Third.
We're gonna get a letter from the second.
Yeah,
Like,
he's
how
like,
dare you insult my father, the third. Or wait, I guess that'd be the first.
the son. This is the
How dare
son.
you insult my son, the third.
I'm gonna contact my grandfather. Wait, hold on, my father, his grandfather, Tony John Jimmy the Snooch the First, and he's gonna get all his boys.
Man. Anyway.
Yeah.
In 2016, Randy Bilyeu died after hunting for the gold, while Jeff Murphy, Pastor Paris Wallace, and Eric Ashby all died searching in 2017. That sounds like a movie.
That sounds like a terrible. I know this guy meant well. He meant to, like, before he goes, he wants to give people a good hunt, like a modern day treasure quest. But 5 people died.
Yeah.
Like, if you really wanted to give him a thing, he would have been like, I put 5 $200,000 things slightly hidden around the world. Right? Like,
Yeah.
I didn't hide them in the mountains. They're like, somewhere safer.
So, I mean, maybe he was just bitter, and he was just like, go get it, you
I don't
idiots.
know, he doesn't sound like it. He sounds like he lived through cancer and he was like, I have money and I want to, like, give it away in a fun way. On paper, if you don't think about it, this sounds like a YouTube video, right? Like, where someone's like, let's make a YouTube video, and then someone gets hurt and they have to make an apology video. That's what this kind of sounds like.
It kind of does, you're right. They're just like, I just thought it'd be a fun thing. People got a little carried away. You know, we're just trying to have some fun. I'm sorry. Apparently, Fenn wanted to lure people to the Rockies as part of an old-fashioned expedition for riches in the wilderness, despite calls from New Mexico police to call up the hunt, which they branded nonsense and insanity.
Yeah, that's what I'm trying to say. If you think about it, this is what happens. You become too rich, no one tells you no. There is no one in this man's life to be like, sir, I don't think we should do this. What if we just gave it to charity instead?
Well, now Tony Don John Jr. the Third or whatever's got that money.
Tony Don John Jr.? That's a different guy.
Yeah, he might have, you don't know. He might have gotten it.
Tony Don John's sounds like a really fake Italian restaurant.
We got the best fish fries. We fry all our fish in pure gold. It reminds me, like, what's that one place? It's like
What?
Tony Roma's.
Tony Roma's. Oh, you know Tony Roma's the guy who got it.
Oh, yeah, he probably did.
The original Tony Roma came out of, I don't know if that's a real person, came out of retirement. And he's like, I'm going to get me that snooch.
How does Tony Roma keep opening restaurants?
Finding buried treasure.
Third buried treasure I've found.
I open a new Tony Roma's. You
But
say,
really-
how can I afford to keep it open? Buried treasure and Spanish doubloons.
But here's the thing. He took that treasure from the guy who actually found it.
Right, no, of course.
So he didn't find it.
He killed Don John Timmy DeSnooch. He killed him. He's like, damn you, Tony Roma. He's like, never speak my name off your lips again, DeSnooch. Yeah. Got him.
Yeah. Got him. And that's I guess that's a case closed.
There you go. We figured it out once again.
It's a Cox and Crendor case, but book onto the shelves.
Ka-chung. We have to have that sound like ka-chung, that sound effect. Ka-chung. You know,
Well,
where it's
we
like,
don't.
case closed. Ka-chung.
I know for a fact we're not going to edit that in, and we have no way of doing it right now. So just find a sound effect similar to that and play it right now. And then
Use your imagination. I bet it's
Yeah.
just as good. Ka-chung.
Yeah, use your imagination.
All right, Crendor, what is our big news story of the day?
Big news story of the day. I don't know. Let's see. Indian man who put cell phone charger in penis undergoes surgery after cable gets stuck in bladder.
No. No, Crendor, no.
All right.
I don't like this story. Wait, I need to know more. I just don't like this story.
All right.
How did he get it all up his wiener? How is this possible?
I don't know. All right, let's see. An Indian man went to the hospital with abdominal pain and inserted a mobile phone charger cable into his penis. Doctor who treated him told CNN Monday. Man visited a hospital in northeastern India last month claiming he had ingested some earphones. What?
What?
He ingested some earphones? But then the cord didn't appear despite the patient being prescribed laxatives. Oh, so he was like embarrassed, I think.
Right, but earphones do not equal power cord.
Yeah. I don't
What
I
did he
don't
think?
know.
Does he not know that the hooter and the tutor ain't connected?
Maybe not. They said, quote, he came to us after 5 days, and despite passing stools several times, the cable did not come out. We then conducted an endoscopy, but still couldn't find anything. His patient complained of severe pain. We decided to perform surgery. Found there was nothing in his intestine. Dude, imagine getting surgery and, like, nothing's wrong.
Imagine not being able to admit that you stuck a thing up your dick, and so you went through a surgery because of it. Rather than just openly being like, look, I like sticking things in my penis. Rather than doing that,
He had surgery.
you would have surgery. That's madness.
It was at the point that the x-ray revealed the man to have 2-foot-long charging cable in his bladder. A
What?
2-foot-long charging cable. Inserted via his urethra, the tube that leads from the penis to the bladder.
What? 2 feet?
2 feet. 2 feet.
He would have had to cram that in there. Like, cram it. You would have to keep pushing it in. Why?
He says, then I made the incision there and took out the cord, which was actually a charging cable over 2 feet long. If he had been honest, then it would have saved us the trouble and we could have treated him sooner.
Yeah,
Patient
right? What
has
a
been discharged and is fine.
Do they not ask why he did this?
The doctor said, I've read that people get sexual gratification by inserting instruments through the penis. This is this one such case, and the psychiatrist can help him beyond this point.
Yeah, no, that sounds about right. Because I feel like if you're inserting to the point where it like disappears up in there, that's a problem. That's
I feel
oh
like,
my god.
I feel like if you're inserting in general, that's kind of a problem. I mean, listen,
People
I'm
like
not gonna
putting things inside them. I get the
like,
concept.
I'm not going to kink shame it, but I'm just saying,
Yeah.
I'm never going to do that ever.
Yeah, you're
if he
never gonna
wants to
catch me
do
at the
it-
hospital with 2 feet of power cord inside me. It's just not gonna happen.
If he wants to do it, that's fine, but, then you got to get it
Yeah.
removed.
Yeah, if you're gonna have a kink, don't be ashamed of your kink. Also, that's part of it as well.
Yeah.
Dude was ashamed that he had a 2-foot cord inside him, so he went through all those surgeries for no reason. Wasted the doctor's time. Tried to poop it out. That's not how it works.
Yeah.
This man needs human studies, like a biology class, and the ability to not be ashamed of his own kinks.
Exactly. And you know what?
We're not judging him. We're judging his reaction to it.
Yeah, like just tell the doctor you shoved it up there.
Yeah, that would have been done in a day. You could have
Yeah.
gotten back to shoving things up there faster.
Man, the difference in stories from 1 week finding treasure in the Rocky Mountains, the next finding treasure shoved up your hoo-ha and your bladder.
Yep. How it got in the bladder. That's so crazy.
Yeah. Guy like after
well-
himself.
Yeah, I guess that's one way to look at it. I guess that is certainly one way to look at it. All right, Crendor, what is our big news story of the day?
Big news story of the day. Someone sent this to me, and it's a couple years old, but all right, I'm just gonna read it. So the
there's a lot of reasons I shouldn't, but I'm just gonna read it.
So back in 2017, the Tuolumne County Sheriff Department said, "Do you know this man?" 25-year-old wanted man Robert Kendale Smith ran from a residence on Allison Way Tuesday afternoon when the high-risk probation team was serving a warrant for Brighton Branstead Curry. While fleeing, Smith threw a backpack at probation officer Mora, which contained over 23 grams of heroin and hypodermic needles. The high-risk probation team was at the home Tuesday afternoon to contact Branstead Curry, who is on pre-trial ankle monitor for pending charges. He let his ankle monitor battery die, which is violation of the monitoring program. 25-year-old Brighton Branstead Curry was arrested on 2 warrants for vehicle theft, drug paraphernalia, carrying a concealed dirk or dagger, along with possession of methamphetamine and hypodermic needles. 37-year-old Dean Muncy Jr. was also at the home and arrested 2 warrants for grand theft, failing to appear and delaying justice after being found hiding in the mobile home and refusing to come out.
What the hell is this story? What?
Just wait. Robert Kendale Smith, a.k.a. Kirby, is wanted for possession of heroin for sale, possession of drug paraphernalia, resisting arrest, evading violation of probation, and several vehicle code violations. He is 5'2", 130 with brown hair, green eyes. So they posted that on Facebook, and everyone's just like, all right, whatever. And then, if you scroll into the Facebook comments, Kirby Smith himself replied, "Hello, Tuolumne County and Tuolumne County Sheriff's team. Can you, the letter U, please run a check on that black tar, because I am pretty sure it's melted coffee beans. And they were not for sale, and never threw no backpack, and how come you gotta leave out the part where I jumped off the roof that was like 30 feet and grabbed a tree branch and swung to freedom? Just saying, no disrespect."
Kirby got him.
Then they said, "Kirby, turn yourself in and take care of your outstanding warrants so you do not have more added on." And I was
wondering where this story was going, and now I definitely know. This is amazing.
Yeah, and I don't know if Kirby turned himself in, but here's the actual message, so you can read. Can you read that?
Oh my God, you were right. That is very hard to read.
Yeah, it looks kind of like he was texting it to him.
Yeah, it definitely looks like it was either that or very quickly typed out.
Also, I take it the black tar, it means heroin.
Yes,
and then,
definitely black tar heroin. Although he's saying it was melted coffee beans, which is like, yeah. I don't think I've ever seen melted coffee beans.
Yeah, I don't think I have either.
Now that I think about it, I don't think I've ever seen a melted coffee bean.
Can you melt coffee beans?
Do you think melted coffee beans is another name for black tar heroin? Is that like a thing that's...
I don't...
melted coffee beans.
Yeah, I don't know.
Melted coffee beans. I'm looking them up right now. There's chocolate-covered espresso beans.
Yeah, I see that, but I don't see actual... I see like crushed beans, because that's just coffee.
Right, because you can't...
I don't think you can melt a coffee bean.
I don't think there's a melting point of coffee beans. You can burn them. They can catch on fire, but I don't think that's melted coffee beans. I don't think that's how that works.
Also, the ending part of this, I jumped off the roof that was like 30 feet and grabbed the tree branch and swung to freedom.
I mean, that's the best part. Because what's great about it is he says, he's like, how come you got to leave out the part where I jumped off the roof that was like 30 feet, grabbed onto a tree branch, swung to freedom? Just saying, comma, no disrespect. No disrespect, but you guys left out the best part of the story. Here's the thing. I get Kirby Smith. I get him. He did all that work to escape the police, and they left out the coolest part.
Yeah. It does look like he did get arrested.
Oh, yes. Kirby definitely got arrested.
Yeah.
They traced his IP like a dummy, and they got his ass.
He just needed more branches to swing to freedom with.
If he just had, he's like Spider-Man. If he doesn't have a branch, he's running.
Yeah.
He's got nothing to swing to.
Just picture like constantly jumping off of buildings to tree branches, like from building to building, holding his melted coffee beans.
Yeah, but if he's out in the countryside, he's got nothing.
And then somewhere there's somebody that's like, man, if only I had some melted coffee beans. And then he shows up with a bag, just throws it at him and swings away. And they're like, wow, that really was the Kirby Smith.
Unless he means melted chocolate coffee beans. It's the only thing I can think of, because melted coffee beans does not make sense. You have to ground it, then put it in something that could melt.
Mm-hmm. I don't think that's what he's talking about.
It's definitely heroin. He is definitely 100% talking about heroin.
Yeah. No, he definitely is.
Well, now we learned something today, that's for sure.
We sure did.
All right, Crendor, what is our big news story of the day?
Big news story of the day. Someone sent us a tweet about an underwater restaurant being completed in Norway. And about 4 or 5 years ago, we covered a story.
Yes, we did.
Yeah, of the Florida man who's tried to cash a $368 billion check to start an underwater restaurant, Jeff Waters. So Waters wanted to build an Italian restaurant, and he said, it's always been my dream to own the best authentic Italian restaurant on earth. Wait a second. Are we sure
But is it the Jeff Waters that did this?
That's what we're trying to figure out. I don't think it is. Someone beat him to the punch.
Yeah, this seems like it is not in America.
Yeah, but here's the thing. How do we know Jeff Waters wasn't just Mama Michelina trying to make the best authentic underwater Italian restaurant known to man?
If there are some of those snackers there, I'm in.
Oh yeah, Waters said, I'm 10% Italian. Cooking authentic Italian food is in my blood. He had planned to make an 80 million square foot restaurant for 30 million eaters at once. But it's going to be
this
underwater.
Is not that. I'm looking at this. This is not that.
Plus, it's going to be totally underwater, so people could look at sharks while they ate, but the bank won't give them the money.
Right. This is the guy who wrote the fraudulent check.
Yeah.
Yeah,
and he's the
for
one.
$65 million or whatever the hell he wrote.
This one with Tito Watts.
Yes, yep.
Yeah, Tito said the check was good, so blame Tito, not me. That's what he said. So this Tito, you know what? Tito Watts probably took that money and gave it to this Norwegian restaurant.
Here's the thing: this Norwegian restaurant looks incredible.
Oh yeah, it actually looks awesome. So
it looks so wild. It is like in the middle of. If you look at the photo, it looks like it's in the middle of nowhere.
Yeah, it just looks like a big ass like ship that like capsized kind of, but like a modern cool ship.
And then you walk down into it, and then there's an underground eatery.
Yeah.
And there's windows into the ocean. And yeah, it's incredible. I guess they also do experiments there for research.
Yeah. It says the largest, and the most research friendly. Under is the world's biggest underwater restaurant with a total seating capacity for 100 guests. It's the first of its kind in Europe and also functions as a research center for marine biology. The Snøhetta design dining experience started operating just yesterday, but people are already adding it to their Norway destination list. In Norwegian, under means both below and wonder. Half sunken into the sea, the building's 111-foot-long monolithic form breaks the surface of the water, the rest on the seabed below. Taking it a step further, the structure is built to eventually fully integrate into its marine environment, as the roughness of the concrete shell will function as an artificial reef welcoming limpets and kelp to inhabit it. That's crazy.
Whoa! It already has a... So they've been closed 55 days since the outbreak, but they already have a Michelin star? What?
What the shit?
Yeah, they have a Michelin star, and they... Wow, this is crazy. I'm on their Instagram right now. I will simply say it is fascinating that this exists. All the food... Whoa! They have underwater art sculptures out in the actual... Like, to look out the window. One of them is straight up just like the sculpture of a man. If I was eating dinner and I saw like a stone man out in the water, I would be mind blown.
Oh my god. Yeah, this place is awesome.
This place looks so... If we ever are in Norway, for whatever reason,
Yeah.
this is a stop that we must go on.
Oh yeah. This also feels like the type of place where it's like you got to book this like 2 years in advance.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Yeah, it's in the Michelin Guide. What the what? And then they have the website is literally under.no. For people who want to see what it looks like, it is called under.no, and it is incredible. Man, that's what I want in my dining experiences.
Yeah.
Weird shit. Like, I want to, if I'm going out to eat, I want to be like wowed. I don't just want to go out and get a burger. I want to be like, I ate under the ocean, right? I want to do that stuff. Oh my God, that's so cool.
Yeah, that's awesome. No, I love that. Yeah, that's like a bucket list thing. You're like, I gotta eat it underwater before I die.
I have questions. All right, what is the USD to NOK exchange rate? The Norwegian krone. Okay, so they're saying that it is for, oh my God, their seasonal menu. They have something called an immersion menu. That's 2,225 NOK krona, and that is $237. Holy shit!
Mamma mia.
Mamma mia, indeed. That is. I don't see any. They have a seasonal. This is so. Oh my God! Wow. So they have a seasonal menu. We have created one set menu for all guests. So literally, when you show up, you get what you get.
Damn.
To accompany this, we offer a beverage pairing designed with complex, blah, blah, blah. Alternatively, we can also provide non-alcoholic pairings. So they have pairings of wine and juice. I guess you're not getting a Coke there, that's for sure. They have an immersion menu. So essentially, you're just like getting what you get? Is that the plan?
I guess so. I mean, listen, if I'm eating underwater, like, that's fine with me. They probably know more about the seafood delicacies of what's around them.
Yeah, it probably is just whatever seafood they caught that day. I bet that's pretty much what it is. Wow, this is so neat. I love looking at this. At the tip of Norway. Hold on. It is located at Bælvingen 48 4521 Lindenesnes. I'm going to go to Google Maps. Whoa! It is. It's on the very southern tip of Norway. Wow, that is ridiculous. It's on the most southern tip.
Oh, wow.
And it is, I don't know, it's very close to the Kiwi Spangreed. You know, the Kiwi Spangreed.
Of course.
And Le Bistro Spangreed, I guess. Spangered? Is that the, I guess that's a town?
Spangered.
But it is straight up near a hotel, which is probably great. But, oh, and a Thai place. That's nice. But it looks like most of the places around here are fishing based.
I mean, it makes sense.
And then it straight up is...
one day you go eat there, and then the next day when you're broke, you go get some Thai food.
Oh my God. It's literally the best part about this, if you look on the map on Google, it is directly in the ocean. This restaurant, they're just like, no, it's definitely in the water. Wow, it is straight up at the southern tip. Oh, it's you could go to Oslo and then take a car down the coast.
Oh.
I wonder what that trip would be like. Wow.
Wow.
Norway. Wow, Norway.
Norway. Wow.
Every time I've been in Norway, which is only twice, but every time I've been in Norway, it's been great. Norway's beautiful.
Huh. Yeah,
I'd go back to Norway in a heartbeat.
So it went from super underwater fine dining to Mama Michelina's $1 pizza rolls.
Here's the thing. Both are good.
Yes.
Both are delicious.
Yeah, it's different experiences.
Yeah, one is cheap buffalo chicken snackers, and one is eating underwater with nature. You know,
Yeah.
both equivalent, I think.
So yeah.
Well, Crendor, what is our big news story of the day?
Big news story of the day. Arrested Arizona penis man claims there are more penis men like him.
Wait, what does that mean? Time out. You can't say Arizona penis man like it's a thing. And then for him to declare there are other penis men? I don't know that I believe that. Actually, I guess there could be many
Yeah.
What is the rule here?
I don't know. We need to find out. Many believe that the infamous penis man graffiti artist who tagged dozens of spots in Arizona was brought to heavy-handed justice by Tampa police on Thursday. But containing the spirit of penis man will be much harder than anyone would have expected.
Wait a minute. Is this a thing we should know? Is penis man like a commodity we should be aware of?
You know, let's see.
I'm going to have to Google
I
penis
guess
man.
January.
I'm going to have to Google penis man. I don't want to Google penis man, but here I am. Google penis man.
January 25th is when the graffiti vandals of penis man were caught on news stories everywhere. Let's see.
Penis man graffiti keeps popping up in Tempe, Arizona. Oh, someone's literally writing penis man everywhere.
Yeah.
It is. Wow, it's on top of buildings. It's on signs.
Apparently he tagged 38 places.
Oh, wow. Yeah, I guess penis man is everywhere. Okay.
All right. Okay. According to the Phoenix Times, a man named Dustin Schomer posted on Facebook Saturday morning that he was arrested in his Phoenix condo by a SWAT team. They raided my condo and vehicle and swarmed my entire complex in West Phoenix with 25 SWAT officers and silenced assault rifle in my face, he said. He was booked on 16 counts of aggravated criminal damage, 8 counts of criminal damage, and 1 count of criminal trespassing, all related to incidents where he spray-painted penis man on various buildings and objects.
Mm-hmm.
But,
as one would do.
But is Schomer the penis man?
Oh my God! This is it.
The one that's been tagging spots across the state for 2 months and captured nationwide attention. Schomer says,
I don't know if I go that far, Arizona.
"Yeah, I don't."
Nationwide? I have not heard of this till now, and I am an aficionado of weird penis man shit.
Schomer says no. He's just a follower who did a few of the taggings. Not the original, Schomer told the Phoenix New Times Monday. There are hundreds of copycats with very distinctively different handwriting.
I love that this is like V for Vendetta now, where everyone. V wasn't a man, V was a cause. Don't you get it?
Schomer said that he heard some people in Tampa bar talking about the real, seemingly phantom-like penis man and got inspired to do some of his own. I thought it was a good message, he explained.
Yeah, all right. I love this guy was like, I gotta get the word out. Everyone needs to know.
Everyone needs to know. Maybe he took it to heart.
Penis man.
Yeah. He doesn't seem to be the only penis disciple, as documented by the Twitter account Penis Man Fans.
No way. No. I'm going right now. Penis Man Fans on Twitter?
Yep. It is a thing that exists.
It is a thing. There's a GoFundMe for the dude who was arrested. There's a second wave of Penis Man graffiti art.
There's a penis girl in Portland.
Yep, I see the Portland penis girls out there.
Yep. Yeah, there are. To be fair, it looks like there are a lot of copycats.
But I can't. There are many Penis Man copycats.
Yeah.
This person literally just admitted, Emmy and Gasser just admitted to doing Penis Man. She drew Penis Man on her front porch.
That is not the greatest thing to put on the internet.
Is Penis Man like a thing? Oh my God. There's one that says we are all Penis Man.
Well, it is.
This is V for Vendetta. We all thought we were going to wear Guy Fawkes masks. We were really just going to go around spray painting Penis Man.
It does say at least one new tag has been spotted since Schomer's arrest, and then he said, quote, "Penis Man is neither man nor woman, you nor me," Schomer wrote on Facebook. "We are all Penis Man."
Yes, this is everything I've ever wanted. This is a movement I can be a part of.
This is a movement I will not be a part of because I do not want to, go to jail.
There's so in a bathroom, there's a photo in a bathroom. Some guy wrote Penis Man 2020, and someone scratched it out and wrote, "Imagine a city where whack shit like this doesn't get so much love." And then someone underneath it wrote, "Imagine a person who gets upset about Penis Man."
That is true, to be fair.
Yeah. This guy in the UK scratched out warning, closed circuit television in operation, and wrote warning, Penis Man in operation. This has gone global. Oh my God, there are
Maybe
so
he's right.
ma-
Maybe it is nationwide.
This is worldwide. I didn't think I would see this many Penis Man spray paints, but here we are.
Man.
This guy took a photo with Penis Man. Oh my God, this is incredible. Oh no. Remember how I said it was V for Vendetta?
Yeah.
This Penis Man fans says, "Our official position on copycats is that they're a good thing. They help throw Tempur-Pedic off the real Penis Man's trail. But more importantly, they show that Penis Man is more than a single individual. Penis Man is an idea, a movement, and ideas are bulletproof." It's straight up V for Vendetta. It's everything I've ever wanted. Yes, Penis Man.
Oh my God.
Oh, it's perfect. Oh, what a great story.
This is man. This is it's not what I expected.
Not what I expected at all. There's someone on a stop sign wrote, "Can't stop Penis Man." Someone on a series of porta potties wrote Penis Man across them. This is it's beyond us now. Penis Man, he's right. Penis Man's bulletproof. Ideas are bulletproof. Penis Man's changing the world. Penis Man.
There's some things I know and there's some things I don't know. And I just don't know.
I don't know. Oh, I don't know. All right. Well, that is certainly it for us this week. Oh, my goodness. Thank you all for tweeting me your photos of buffalo chicken snackers. I can't get any. I've looked all over the city of L.A. Not one. They don't exist.
I looked in my grocery store, too. They didn't have anything.
Yeah, and I think it's a specifically northeastern United States thing.
Damn.
I cannot find them. Can't find them to save my life. So upsetting. People are like, "Jesse, we'll send them to you." If there's anything worse than 10 for what is like $10 for $10 chicken snackers, I imagine it's like barely warm, kind of like spoiled chicken snackers sent through the mail.
Yeah, no, that does not sound appetizing.
I want them very badly, but I don't want to get sick, so I'll be all right. I'll be back to New York eventually, and when I do, chicken snackers for all. If Crendor and I ever do a New York show, we're going to go to Buffalo, New York. Why Buffalo? Because that's where I know I can get chicken snackers. We're going to blow it up. Just you wait.